That's right. That's right. You see me. I'm all alone. No. Other people are coming. They're just late. They're delayed by stuff. So I thought I'd start this stream with a cup of coffee. Oh, I should turn this around because this is a Be No Just Be mug. It's so good. That damn coffee. Took me all day to drink one cup because it was Monday and I was so freaking busy at work. I was pulling my hair out and the phone kept ringing and like I peed one time and got a 5-minute break literally all day. Wait a minute, there's somebody. I'm not alone.
No, I'm nobody.
Hi. No, you are definitely somebody, young lady. Thank you for coming. And yeah, Ben does have a meeting. It's okay, Ben. We'll fly on without you, buddy. I got Jenny on here. She can talk up a storm about trans stuff. How you doing, sweetheart?
What, transportation? What?
Yeah. Transportation. You know all about it. You used to fix vehicles.
Well, logistics is an important thing in life, whether it's, who's going to deliver your refrigerator, who's going to deliver your third army. Logistics
It's
matter.
true. It's true. It absolutely
Remember,
matters.
if you have it, a truck brought it.
I used to have that sticker on the back of my truck that I drove around picking up different trailers. And it said, good stuff, trucks bring it. And it is absolutely the truth. And so people who hate truck drivers and are going, well, what the fuck are they? Blah, blah, blah. You notice how the shelves are kind of bare in the stores? That's what happens when there's no truck drivers working. Actually, there's been a shortage in the UK and the United States with truck drivers. And I think it's because of COVID, because it started about a year after COVID
Oh,
started.
no, no,
So,
no, no. There's
oh
been a shortage
no,
in
it
the
was,
trucking industry for
no, I
10,
know, but
10,
there was
12
a drop.
years.
I know, but there was a bad drop. And it's so bad that everybody's giving out these crazy, like, they used to give you like $1,000, bonus or $3,000 bonus to sign on. And they would give it to you like $500 after your first month. And then when you get to 4 months, you get 1,500. And then when you get to 6 or 8 months or a year, depending on the company, you would get the rest. Now, those $1,000 or $3,000 bonuses are 6 to 10 now because they need drivers so fucking bad. Their warehouses are backed up. Shit's not moving. So, yeah, next time you farmers and truckers feed you 3 times a day. Right. Absolutely, Ox. That is a fact. And honestly, if it wasn't such a miserable lifestyle and paid so shitty, I would consider going back to it, but it's horrible.
Well,
It's stagnant.
it's not just the pay. The truckers are just absolutely abused by their employers.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
hours they're given, the expectations that
Yep,
are laid on them, both
that's right.
by the employers, fair enough, and the
And feds.
Department of Motor Vehicles and stuff with their
Yes, the
limitations on
DOT.
driving,
DOT is
which is
rough,
good,
man.
but it's also bad. Let's be honest.
You know what they did was after I quit driving, about 2 or 3 years after I stopped, I think it was like 2016 or 18 or something like that. They imposed a new law on the truck drivers. If they're driving more than 8 hours, they have to take a 2-hour break. So now, so you get a 14-hour workday, 12 hours of actually working, 10 hours of driving. So the other 2 hours are like you're on the dock, you're unloading the truck or you're fueling up or whatever. So now on top of that, 2 hours of that, they have to take a fucking break. So now instead of working a 12-hour day like they used to be able to, 10 to 12, and stop working, they have to work another 2 hours to take that break in the middle of their fucking shift. So now they're working 14-hour days, 12 to 14. So by the end of the day, they're losing 2 hours of fucking money every single day. Every
Well, that's
single
because
day.
they're not paid hourly; they're paid by the mile.
Exactly. Yes, they are. And the fact that you're paid by the mile, if your wheels ain't moving, you ain't making jack
And
shit.
who's paying for the gas?
The companies pay for the fuel. Unless you're an owner operator, you pay for your own. But they give you a company credit card for the owner operators, and then when they go to give them their paycheck of what the money they made, they take it off the top of that, the fuel. So they don't have to shell it out personally, and they don't see it come and go. But yeah, the companies pay for fuel and all maintenance and everything, unless you're an owner operator.
Yeah, see, as far as I'm concerned, companies should be paying for the fuel of cars because it's their transport company, but they should
Right.
be paying for the drivers' sleepover, their meals.
Well, now it depends. It depends. You actually do get paid for that. If you're an over the road truck driver and you work more than 100 miles away from home, you get, and now this was when I quit. So this has been 2012. It was in 2012 no, 2013 was the last year I drove over the road. They give you a $52 a day per diem for being away from home.
Yeah, it's not
And
enough.
I didn't know that. So the first 2 years I did my taxes, I didn't get shit back. I got like $1,000 or no, it wasn't even that. I think it was like $600 or $700. So then my third year in, the chick I was dating was like, go down to see my accountant. She's got tricks. I didn't even know that $52 a day per diem existed. She added that in. I was only home 2 days out of the, what was it? No, I'm sorry. I was gone for 21 days, home for 7 every month. They give me 7 days off, out for 21, home for 7. That's how it was, because it was a horrible, shitty fucking company I was working for when I first started. So because of that, because I was gone so much, because even when I moved on to a better company, I was still only home 2 weekends out of the year. I mean, out of the month. So I was only home like 4 days out of the month. So every other day, those other 24 to 26 days, depending on which month you're talking about, 27, depending on the month, I got $52 a day per diem. And when my fucking taxes got done and I got a paycheck back from my taxes, it was almost $6,000. So they do, the $52 a day will cover, oh my God, who the hell eats $52 a day in food? Like, it's,
no, wait a minute. The
they actually make
$52.
it like that. They actually make it like that because you can write off your work clothes, your work boots,
Yes,
and all
slow
that
down,
stuff.
slow down.
Yeah.
The
No, I don't know
$52
how to
is
do that.
pay or a deduction?
No. You get it back on your taxes, tax free. $52 a day. They
So it's
pay
a
you back
deduction.
at the end of the year.
So it's a
No,
deduction. Yeah, if
no,
you
it
don't
doesn't
take
get
it, you
deducted.
don't get it back.
It
So
doesn't get
therefore, it's a
deducted from
deduction.
anything. The government gives you that for being away from home.
So the government's giving it to you, not the company.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's what I'm saying. The companies should be giving you this.
Oh yeah, no, the companies don't give you shit.
Well,
The
exactly.
government gives you more
That's
than
my
the
point.
companies do. Yeah. Now they will, like I said, they do pay for, like, if you break down, your truck breaks down, you get breakdown pay after so many hours. But it's after so many hours. If you get stuck somewhere, like, I delivered down to Orlando, Florida one time. You can take all kinds of shit into Florida. There's not a lot of shit coming out of Florida besides like milk and orange juice or something like that. So you get down into Orlando, Florida. I was stuck down there for 2 or 3 days. Well, they paid me for it. And they didn't pay me a lot, but they paid me something for sitting there and not making money. I mean, it wasn't even a quarter of what I would have made. I think it might have been around a quarter of what I would have made if I was driving, but 52 is almost the upper limit of what I pay for a week of food. Well, exactly, Megs. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's spending, so if you figure, quick, somebody do some math for me. 52 times 21. What's that? 110, 104, 100, $170. I'd make $170. No, that's not right. It's way more than that. What was it? Shit, I can't think of how much it was a year. Anyways, if somebody wants to do that math, yeah, that $52 a day, it covered the taxes I owed, and I got a whole bunch of fucking money back. But that is the federal government, yeah, not the companies. The companies are 1,092. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. So that's what I was making a month off of it. Now I only got $6,000 back because taxes, blah 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 blah. But there was 2 years in a row that I got around $6,000 back on my taxes because of that per diem. So, but you also have
as
to
far as I'm
consider that,
concerned, when they
yeah,
hire somebody to be their truck driver and they send them on long distance runs where they're
hmm
gone for an extended period, the moment you leave that property with that truck,
hmm
they own you and they should pay for every minute you're alive.
I know, but they do not. They do not. And let me tell you, I don't know what the pay is like now for company drivers. When I quit, I was actually making pretty good money for someone who had only like 10 years experience. I was making 48 cents a mile. That was good pay in 2013. 48 cents a mile. The most
Yeah, see,
miles you can
when I
do
was
in
in
one
business in
day
those years,
is the
when I
most you
was
can
in
do in one
business
day
in
is
those years, and
600.
hey, hold on, you're talking too much.
Hey, no. I wasn't done talking. Go ahead.
Go on.
I was just saying the most miles you can do in a day is 600. That's the max at 48 cents a mile. But go ahead.
When I was in business back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and stuff, and I had to travel somewhere for my business, I got paid 50 cents a mile when I
In a
had one
vehicle?
in a vehicle, just for I get travel time from door to
See,
door.
that's why people are like, what are the truck drivers bitching about? That's what they're bitching about. The pay is fucking horrible.
Yeah,
They don't pay them shit. And if you're a team, okay, so let's say the average is 40 cents a mile, right, Jenny? Let's say it's 40 cents. When it was 40 cents a mile back in 2009 or whatever it was, they don't pay teams, married teams, you don't get the 48 cents a mile each. Okay. So 48 cents a mile each would be 96 cents a mile. They don't give them that. They give them 50 or 60 cents a mile and they have to split it. How is that? They're literally making more money off the teams than they are off the solo drivers. Literally.
I
And
wasn't
those
aware
people
that
live in that
that's what
fucking
they did
truck
on
and it
teams.
never stops. You sleep when you're in a team, you sleep while the truck's moving. Your other driver's driving. And it's horrible. And you do not sleep for shit because you're back there going, God, I hope I'm not going to die because I can't see anything because I'm locked up in the back here trying to sleep. It's horrible. I didn't sleep for like 2.5 years well, actually, that's not true. 9 months, and I got into my own truck by myself, but it was horrible. I didn't sleep for shit for 9 months. Every time somebody hits that rumble strip, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's horrible. So anyways, enough about the trucker stuff, but yeah, no, they do not pay them enough. You're absolutely right. They treat them horribly. They'll make them do some crazy fucking loads. The company I worked for was, not Swift Transportation, not the big one you guys see everywhere, Swift in the blue and yellow on the white trailers. I worked for Swift Enterprises and they have like 50 or maybe 70 or 80 drivers now. They're a family owned company. It's owned by an ex-truck driver. Now that guy takes care of his fucking people. That's why he gave me more money than I should have deserved it at the amount of time that I had in, because he knew damn well that you need to take care of people. So he gave me 48 cents a mile when I only should be making 42 to 44 because he knows it's not enough fucking money. This guy actually has his own truck that sits in front of the building, and every like 2 months or something, 3 months, he'll go out for like a month and drive because he loves doing it. And that is the best company I've ever worked for, and it's driver owned. It's owned by a truck driver, and he takes care of his people. He makes sure his equipment's right. If it needs fixed, he put something new in it. I'm not playing with it. Put something new in it. People would try to, like, these shitty companies will try to use leftover parts and shit. You know how some of those fucking service companies do. They try to use leftover parts and put a used fucking part in your goddamn truck. And I had problems like that. I would sit, and the truck would break down, and the truck would break down. And people are like, man, why have you had so many truck driving jobs? Because their trucks kept breaking down. And if your truck's breaking down, I'm not making shit. I almost starved for 1.5 years because I kept having trucks that broke down. So I jumped around and found a company that was a smaller company that had good fucking equipment, mom and pop owned. And that's all I would work for after 2009. I would, or
I thought we
2008.
were done talking about trucks.
I know, but you got me started on it. And I spent like fucking 14 years as a truck driver. So it's hard to get off of it. Anyways, thank you everybody for coming tonight. That was a prelude. Now we're going to get into the real shit. Jenny, how are you doing? Are you doing okay?
I'm doing just fine. Same
Good.
old, same old, same old.
Same old, same old. Good.
Nothing ever changes.
I mean, no, that's good though, because whenever time you have a change, it's usually bad. So we'll take the no change with you. Thank you, ma'am. because, last time you had a change, you had some issues and spent a lot of time in cardio PT. So I'll take the no change with you. I am doing great now that I'm not working anymore for the day. Mondays are crazy. Anybody, look, I'm going to put a PSA out there. Even if you're having a bad day and you're in pain and you need help and whatever, don't call your doctor's office and yell at the people at the fucking front desk. Even if your provider fucked up, the person at the front desk didn't do it. The people out front that do the records and take your money and check your insurance cards and answer the phones and make you appointments, those people, they don't do things wrong normally. They wouldn't have a job. They would get fired. It's the doctors that are fucking shit up. So don't call up and get someone on the phone that has nothing to do with it. If you're mad, say to them, hey, I'm really pissed off at my provider and I'm sorry I'm going to take it out on you, but I'm mad. And you know what I say when people say, go for it. I'll listen. What do you got to say? Let me see what I can do to help you. But when you call up yelling and screaming because the prescription was sent in wrong, or they didn't send it in, or they sent it to a different pharmacy 10 minutes down the road, that literally happens here. It's fucking insane. Drive the extra 10 minutes and go get the goddamn prescription. It's ridiculous. Same fucking pharmacy too, just another one down the road. Don't call up and yell at those people. They're making money.
Don't you keep a record on the patient's pharmacy that they use?
Oh, absolutely, we do. But they see what they do is this. They'll get a hold of pharmacies. They'll call the pharmacies, and these aren't people that are like older people on a pension or on retirement or on Medicare and Social Security. These are people that are working and have a lot of fucking money. This is probably why. So what they'll do is they'll go, oh, my so-and-so is due to be refilled. And they'll call around and find out who's got it the cheapest. And then they call and say, hey, send it to this other pharmacy. Well, if someone answering the phone doesn't catch that their pharmacy's different in what they told you than what's in their chart and change it, the provider's going to send it to the same fucking pharmacy they have used for however long. So, they'll change. We have people that do it. I have a guy that's got like 6 pharmacies. He's got like 8 prescriptions, and 5 of them he gets at different pharmacies because it's a few dollars cheaper every month. And I had said to Heather, I said, man, is that poor guy, man? He must be really broke. Like, he puts a lot of effort into that. She's like, oh my God, he's a retired lawyer from New York City. I'm like, really? Oh no, this guy is loaded. She does house visits. It's like walking in a fucking museum, walking in his front door, but he makes us keep changing it so he can save $3 or $1 per prescription. And he puts more work on us. That's what they do. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Every prescription a provider writes takes somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes per prescription. So if you're asking your provider to fill 3 prescriptions, right? That's at least that's anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes they're going to take to write those. Now, you changed your pharmacy and didn't tell anybody. Now they got to go back and write them, all 3 of those. And something happened and the pharmacy didn't get the prescription. So then they have to send it in again. Okay, that's an hour of time for your 3 prescriptions. And the pharmacies do that, specifically Walgreens and CVS. Oh, we didn't get it. They kick it out because they're too busy. They just delete it. I don't even know how they're allowed to do it, but they delete the fucking prescription. We'll send the same script in 3 or 4 times and oh yeah, we got it. Oh, never mind, we don't have it. They did that to me when I had all that tooth pain. And I was in all that horrible pain and my tooth had to get yanked and I was sitting up for like 2 nights in a row, holding my head, like getting to the point of rocking like an autistic child because I was in so much pain. Heather had to send that prescription in for pain meds for me. She sent it in the first one the same time she sent in the antibiotic. She had to send in the pain meds 5 more times because it goes to the pharmacist and the pharmacist kicks them out because they get too busy and they don't give a fuck if someone is in pain. They don't care. That's my experience with Walgreens. Anyways, that's my PSA. Don't yell at the person at the front desk. Don't. Just tell them, hey, I'm mad and I need to vent and I'm mad at the provider. Cool, we're fine with that. Don't call and yell at us. We make bullshit fucking pay. We don't make shit for pay. Nobody does this because they want to be rich and famous. They do it because they want to help people. So when you guys call in and people are screaming and yelling, it just, like, why the fuck am I here? It ruins people's day. Just be nice. So Jenny, you still doing your meetings every month with the local umbrella support community?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's
Good.
boring as heck.
It's boring as heck. I mean, you live in a town
Well,
of
I have
like
nothing.
less
I
than
have nothing in
1,000 people.
common
What
with.
is there, like 10 people there?
It varies. I would say it'll average between 8 and 15.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. So 10's a good
yeah,
average. Okay.
but
Yeah.
they're all these new kids, and I really have nothing in common with them. Nothing at
Oh,
all. They're they're young. You know, we have completely different realities of on life, um, and I just it's just boring. I sit there and listen, but uh, nothing to input because I don't know what their culture is like.
oh, because they're such a different generation from, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know, that I'm starting to feel that generation gap between the younger people. I didn't really notice it very much until the last couple of years, but I'm starting to people say words and use terms and I'm like, what the fuck's that mean? Fuck, I'm old. Oh yeah, JR, I'm getting rich, baby. That's why I built a tiny home because I'm loaded. Yeah, that's right. Hey JR, I paid off my tiny home in 2 years. Of course, the whole thing only cost 13 grand, but 2 years I paid it off. Um, they've had automatic everything. Every company's had automatic for several years now, Ox. They made automatics a long time ago. Now it's so bad that the truck drivers you bump into, if you try to put them in a, I've had this happen, you try to put them into a truck that's standard, they'll go, oh, I can't drive a standard. What? Are you a truck driver? I slip shift all day. Da-da, 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 da-da. Don't ever touch my clutch unless I stop and start. Um, Yeah, no, you're right, Ox. The older you get, the more you notice it. There is like they just come up with these weird terms that we've never heard of. And they're like, "Oh, you guys are old," but they don't go around like promoting and talking about, "Oh, we're using new terms this year." If they did that, we could keep up, but they don't communicate with us, but then they expect us to know the terms. Huh. Kind of sound like my mom right now, probably.
Yeah, you do.
How do you know? You never met my mother.
I
She had a
don't have to.
much higher
You
voice than
sound like
this.
an old person. I don't even
You hear what I said? My
talk like
mom had a
that.
much higher voice than this.
I don't even talk like that.
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, it's true though. The older you get, they're not going to go hang out with like a 50-year-old person. Although honestly, I still have younger people that want to like be buddies with me and stuff. But right now at work, it's just the trans people. Every time Heather gets a new patient that's starting HRT and they're either non-binary or trans or they're not sure yet, um, she tells them before they leave her office, if you need anything having to do with your HRT, you call and you ask for Beck. Beck's got your back. And she tells everybody that. So it makes me feel good that she knows, like, because I do have their back. I mean, I have every patient's back as long as they're not a dickhead. But of course, I'll do anything to help them and make them feel comfortable. And we have a guy that's a chiropractor, and he's been a practicing chiropractor for years and years. And he's 57, 60 years old, and his testosterone levels dropping, and his dick's not working as well. So she prescribed him injectable testosterone, and he called the other day and said, hey Beck, I got a question. Well, he called and he got the girls, and I was on the phone, and they said, oh, you got to call so and so back. And I'm like, why didn't you guys help? Oh, he said he wanted to talk to you. And I was like, oh, I know what it's about. So I call him and I'm like, hey buddy, what's up? And he's like, hey Beck, man, my leg really hurts today from my injection. I said, oh, okay. I said, where did you put it at? And he described it to me, and I'm like, well, that's perfect. He's not stupid. He's a chiropractor. He knows a little bit, couple of things. And I said, how deep in did you put the needle? And he told me, and I was like, oh, that's fine. And I said, when you were done, did you like give it a good rub out? Because he's a really thin guy. He has no fat on his body. So he's literally putting that right into his muscle. And I was like, did you rub out your leg? And he's like, oh no, Heather did say something about that. And I said, dude, you should do that. Because every time that I've done it, I've given myself an injection and not rubbed my leg out, my leg is sore. It hurts like a bitch, like somebody gave you a
Well,
Charlie horse. He says, yeah, it does.
isn't the tea also a very very viscous liquid?
It is very viscous. And that's the thing is you have to do a slow push on it. And you don't want to use too big of a needle because, god damn, I put an 18 gauge in my fucking leg.
Oh,
When I
Jesus.
first started doing this, I had no idea what I was doing. Then I went to a 21, and then now I'm at a 27 gauge. Those are beautiful. They don't hurt, but it's a very slow push, and you can't really force it. You have to do a slow push with testosterone. I mean, you could push it fast if you want, but you better rub the shit out of that pocket of fucking testosterone, because basically what happens, guys, is that's going to sit there in your muscle. And it's different. Of course, it's different if people are not doing intramuscular like I do. They're doing subcutaneous. Sub-Q is different because you're just putting it into your fat layer. I do intramuscular. So I'm putting a wad of testosterone into my leg muscle.
Well, plus if you don't rub it out and it all stays concentrated in that one spot, you end up growing a penis in that spot.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. No, that's not true. It will cause a slight infection in your leg though, sitting there. So it's very, very important to who wants a thigh penis inside their leg? You can't even use it. You're so funny, Jenny. You're fucked up. I fucking love you. Anyways. Hold on. Therapist confirming. Appointment for tomorrow.
Did you know
working
that
an hour late?
Did you know in the UK it is illegal to have injectable estradiol?
You said it's what now?
It's
Say
illegal.
the beginning. It's illegal?
Yeah. It can be.
To have
You can get it prescribed as patches or pills.
injectable
But
estrogen?
you may not have estradiol injectable. No.
Estradiol, isn't that estrogen? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, JR, go ahead and inject a fucking 0.35 into your fucking dick of testosterone. Let me know how your infection's going in a few days. You better rub it out, buddy. No, wait a minute. I thought, aren't you on injectable estrogen? I'm confused.
I said in the UK, not here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't live there.
I mean, they let everything go fine. Everything's great, but you can't have injectable estrogen. That's interesting. Yeah, guy. Now everybody's talking about thigh penises. See what you did, Jenny? This is no longer a serious stream. Okay, what's all the comments? Hold on, let's go through them. Wait, question. Do you have to put the entire needle into your leg? No. You never put an entire needle into anything. God, no. It's made so you have extra room, so you don't put it all the way in.
My needles are 1.5 inches long, and I put in about an inch worth.
An inch worth? Oh, you're doing intramuscular.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. I get the 1.5 inches and I put about 3/4 of it in. 3/4 to, not quite an inch. Close to it though. Yeah. No, you don't put the whole thing in your leg, Jupit. God, no, that's horrible. And it's really important to, let me say this too, because I've already had this happen to me. Do a drawback on the fucking needle, you guys. Until you get used to it, you know your leg, you know where your veins are and everything. Don't just stick a needle in your leg and not do a drawback. I don't do my drawback anymore because I have certain spots on my legs. I know where they are now. They're not veiny. I could literally just draw on my leg and show you where they are right now. Plus, every week I have a little dot on each leg, so it's kind of a clue. Hey, this is where the last one was. So I just switch off legs. But anyways, yeah, you have to do a drawback. I stuck that needle in my leg and I didn't do a drawback and I was in the wrong place. And I had some excessive bleeding and I almost fucking passed out all by myself in my house with testosterone pumping into my fucking heart because I hit a goddamn vein. So
arteries are to the heart or away from the heart. Veins are to the heart.
That's what I said, a vein.
Oh, okay. All right.
I actually have always remembered that by this. Artery starts with an A for away. Artery away. That's how I've always remembered it. Yeah, so Jupiter, once you put the needle into your body, Unless you're doing like my son, he's got a large gut. He's a chunky guy. So he just grabs his stomach muscle, his stomach fat, and just sticks it in his fat. So he does a sub Q into his fat. So the reason you do a drawback is to make sure you haven't hit blood, like a vein, or an artery. If I had done that when I hit my vein, if I had done a drawback, I would have seen that I was into a vein. I would have pulled it out, put some pressure on it, let it stop bleeding, and changed out my needle, because you never use the same needle twice. I found that out too. You dull it as soon as it goes into skin. If you don't get it in the right spot, do not pull it out and try to put it in somewhere else. It's going to fucking hurt. You have immediately dulled that needle. Exactly, Jags. Yeah. If you get some blood, you're in a vein or something. It is not good. I did not do my drawback on my like third or fourth injection, and I ended up sitting here with my feet up on my fucking bed. My face was ghost white. I was shaking like a leaf. So basically what I did was I injected most of my testosterone right into a vein, and it went right to my heart. And I was just like, ugh! I felt horrible. Almost gave me an anxiety attack. Like this close. I had everything I could do to calm myself down. Probably only because I was going to pass out. But yeah, so if you're going to do some kind of injectable, do a drawback on it. Make sure you have a good spot. Make sure you don't have any blood in your drawback. You don't have to pull it back much, just a little bit, so you get see a little clear fluid or blood. If you see blood, pull that fucking thing out, throw that needle away, and try again, because you've hit a vein. I've only ever used needles for IV. I've never started an IV. I've watched 5 million be started, but I've never started an IV, and I've never injected myself with anything until I started my testosterone. So, that was a new experience for me. For reals.
See, I always save my syringes and sell them to the heroin junkies.
You should. I mean, what, 5 cents, $1 a piece? They'll pay $1 for them. You know, the heroin junkies are so bad in the big city in the middle of my state, down south of me, that you can walk into any given pharmacy and say, hey, I need some needles, and they'll just give them to you, because they're trying to stop fucking cross-contamination and fucking AIDS and Hep C and everything else. So they give them the needles because they know they're gonna reuse them. So they give them to them for free to try to keep them out of the hospital, and just hope they don't OD. Really sad shit. You injected amphetamines when you were young? What kind of amphetamines? Like liquid meth? I mean, what are you talking about? Yeah, Mage. That's what I was going to say. My mom had some pretty bad allergies, and she was on allergy medicine. And every time the doc upped her allergy medicine, because what it can do if you're given too much, she would have to keep her little epinephrine kit on her. And back then, it was not a stick it in your leg epinephrine. You had to draw it up from the vial and stick it in the person's leg and inject them with it. And you better make sure there's no pants in the way, because the needle's going to fucking break. So, damn, Stags. Rough boy. Couldn't touch it. You're more of a man than I am, I guess. Or maybe less, depending on how you look at it. So when I was a teenager, my mom said, hey, you need to learn how to give this to me, because if I fall out, you're going to have to inject this in my leg. And I was like, Mom, I'm not sticking a fucking needle in your leg. Of course, my mom was a nurse, so she was like, why not? You know? And I'm like, because you're my mom, and I'm not going to stick a needle in your leg, you know? But she made me do it, and damn, Sammy, you guys telling some tales tonight. Anyway, so she made me do it, and I did it twice just to be comfortable enough with it, so I could do it okay for her, just in case. But besides that, I've never stuck anybody with a needle, because when I was an EMT, I was not a paramedic. Only paramedics can stick you with needles. Yeah, you might be dead by now, Sammy, and I'm really glad that you're not dead.
Hey, you might want to share some of these chat comments, so I can be part of the show.
I'm sorry, I forgot. You can't see them. Yes. So Stag said that the only thing he'd ever done was IV, and he said it was
just splash them up on screen. You don't have to read them to me.
Oh, well, I don't want to go back through all of them.
Well, don't go back.
Sammy
Just
said,
when
I was young, I injected amphetamines. And Stag said JFC, that's evil. Yeah. Yeah. And Mage, I learned how to inject insulin into my mom's leg. And then Sammy and Stags were talking about how they'd be dead if they hadn't got off that shit. So I'm glad you guys are off of it. And Blue is here. Hi, Blue. How you doing, sweetheart? I haven't seen you in fucking like 6 or 8 months. Where you been? How are you?
Blue Idaho? Like the potato?
Blue Tea, Idaho. Yeah. She lives in Idaho. She's a sweetheart.
Did you know that the word Idaho is a made-up word? It's not an Indian word. It's just a word a legislator made up that he
Really?
thought sounded Native American.
I don't think it sounds native at all.
Idaho? Yeah, it sounds a little bit.
I mean, maybe. That's funny though. I didn't even know that it was supposed to be named after native anything. I didn't realize it.
Well, it's not. It's just they wanted something that sounded like it could be. It's just a made up word.
Yeah. Damn, JR. JR said I injected morphine in my late wife till the insurance approved the pump. I'm guessing it was like cancer or something, and she was in a lot of pain. So yeah, that's horrible, man. I'm glad you were strong enough to do that for her, though. That means a lot. Good for you. Oh, Stags. No, Jenny's kidding. She would never do anything like that. She's just very sarcastic.
What?
He said, I'm going to be sick after that comment, though. Talk to you later. Selling your needles to junkies is the worst thing I've heard today.
God, no, of course.
No, he doesn't. Stags doesn't understand you're being sarcastic.
The first thing
Stags,
I do is
if you're there, man,
I do is put a 90-degree bend in the needle.
Jenny would never ever do anything like that, bro.
Let me comment for myself. The first thing I do is to put a 90-degree bend in the needle before I even put it in the disposal unit.
I don't even do that. That's a good idea. What I do, because I don't have one of those containers at home, I have these allergy pills I go through because they only sell them like 14 in the, you know how they do. They give you like 10 or 14 of them and you're fucking stuck with this bottle that's 90% empty. So they just happen to be a little bit over 1.5 inches tall. So I put them all in there and I keep them with the child safety cap on it. Of course, I don't have any kids here. I only have 2 cats and they don't have thumbs. And I leave it behind my air fryer, my coffee pot. And every time I do use needles, I put them in there. When that little container's full, I take it into work and I throw it in a sharps container. So they get disposed of properly. Because that's way easier than me having a sharps container myself. I don't want to buy one.
Yeah, I get a sharps container from my pharmacy and they just exchange it every so often.
They give you one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never asked before. I thought you had to buy them. Huh. Yeah, maybe I'll get one. Mage. Anyways.
Well, I'm glad they do because I would feel very uncomfortable throwing those in the civilian trash.
Oh, yeah, no, I would never do that. Oh, my God, no. No. You do not do that. I mean, mainly it's not even for any other reason. The fact that somebody can get really hurt off of it. And let's say, you injected yourself and you have like Hep C or AIDS or one of those gifts that just keep on giving for the rest of your life and torture you. And then someone steps on that trash bag and that needle pokes them. So no, do not throw out needles like that. Even if you're a junkie, you can get rid of them at the fucking pharmacy if you wanted to. If you brought them in there in a little plastic bag and said, hey, can you put these in the sharps container for me? They will fucking do that. They will absolutely do that for you. They keep a sharps container right there on the pharmacy counter for anybody that needs it, including diabetics. So, yeah. So, yeah, do not ever throw any needle away in the trash can. We had people that worked at retail stores before me. And after I got a job there, heard that they had like one of them like squished down the trash with their hand outside. Got a fucking needle in their hand and had to go get tested for everything and ended up with Hep C from a needle. So please do not throw them in a regular trash can. If you want to throw them away somewhere and be an asshole, throw them in like a dumpster or something where somebody's not going to stick their hand in it. Because people will, and actually I would like if nobody did that as well. But if you have to, be really careful with that shit because people can spread a lot of diseases that way. For real. I think that's what happened in the 70s with most of the drug use, right, Jenny? Didn't a bunch of diseases get spread around everywhere?
Well, I suppose, but it's not because people were late throwing them on the ground. Because
Well, no, I'm just
they're in
saying
their little
people.
den of iniquity, and here I'm going to shoot up here, then you can shoot up.
Right, exactly. They were sharing them. I'm not saying they were throwing them on the ground. They were sharing them. So, yeah. Either way, not cool. Don't do it.
And that happens today too, because today is really no different.
Oh no, it still happens today. Absolutely. I had a guy come into the CVS up here, and when I first started working there, when I first moved here, and he was like, "Hey, where you guys have the needles at the pharmacy?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Needles." And I said, "Oh, are you diabetic? And I can show you where they are. They're, the pharmacist has them, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "No. The free needles you give away for drug users." And I was like, "What?" I didn't even know what he was talking about. I didn't know that they did this in the middle of the state, an hour and some odd time away from me. He said, "Yeah, they do it. They do it down there." And I was like, "Oh, we don't do that here." And he's like, "Oh, I mean, I have my clean one. I just need one for my girlfriend." I was like, "Oh." I mean, I appreciate the effort. Like, that's great. But good job on the tail there, cat. But, yeah, like they're so ballsy. They just walk into the pharmacy like, "Hey, can you give me those free needles?" Hey, no, I don't have any free needles. So I don't know. It's crazy. Whole thing's crazy. I never injected any kind of fucking drug into me before testosterone. Like I've never done anything like that. I smoked some coke back when it was free base before it became household chemicals. And crack cocaine was just free based cocaine. I've smoked it and I've snorted that and, smoked a bunch of freaking pot and drank every kind of goddamn fucking alcohol you can think, from the cheapest to the most expensive. And, but I don't know, when people would start talking about heroin and stuff, I go, "Nah, no, bro, nope. I'm not sticking some needle in my fucking body because I don't know what's in that. And I don't know you. I'm not doing that." Really, John? But is that just for drug use? He said in Toronto they have free needle places. Are you talking about dropping them off or picking them up, getting free needles? And is that for drug users or is it just for everybody in general, including like diabetic patients? See, this is where it pisses me off though, right? We're providing all these needles for drug users. And I understand we're trying to help them. I'm not against that at all. Why can't we give them to patients with diabetes who can't afford to buy them? Why can't we help those guys? Why can't they get free needles?
Because
They
there's
need
a
them
lot more of
too.
those people out there than there are drug abusers.
Well, you don't want to give too much for drug users. Yeah. You don't want to give too much away. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, how fucked up, like if you were diabetic and you're standing there and you're paying all this money for this fucking box of goddamn needles so you can shoot up your insulin once or 3 times a day or whatever you have to do, depending on what kind of a diabetic you are. And some guy walks up next to you and he's a fucking druggie and goes, "Can I get some free needles? Thanks, bro." You're probably like, "Fuck you." Wouldn't you be mad? Like, how come I gotta pay for mine? I'm not even doing drugs. It's just something I was born with. It's genetic. It's not my fault,
Because when that
Like,
because when that abuser um, ends up sharing needles and getting sick with Hep C or AIDS or
oh, I know
something like
we
that,
pay.
they're not on private insurance, baby.
Oh, I know.
You're paying for that then,
Fuck
and
yeah,
it's a
we
lot
are.
cheaper to give them a damn syringe
You're right.
than it is treat them for
But
AIDS or Hep C.
my point is someone standing there might not think of all that, and it would just. I think if I was a patient standing there, first thing I think of is, why the fuck do I have to buy mine? I'm a good upstanding citizen that works their asses off every day and pays all their taxes and does all the right shit. Why do I have to pay for mine? But anyways,
Well, because what I just said.
BDSM players take advantage of it too. Oh, like some needle poking BDSM thing? I mean, yeah, whatever. As long as people are being safe. But see, it's not like that here. Like you can't just walk up. Oh, fuck, dude. God damn, he's heavy. Um, You can't just walk up and say, "Oh, I do BDSM. Can I have some free needles?" But if you walk up and say you're a heroin user, they'll give you free needles. They're not going to give them to you for BDSM in the United States. There's too much religion here. Not going to happen here. So, no, I've never done any like injectable drugs or anything. That's that hard shit. I never got into it. Hey, Catnip, what's going on? How are you?
I've read John Christian's thing a couple of times now. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to take it down. My bad.
Did you hear the good? Did you hear the good news today?
Cupid, they give it to you with the prescription of testosterone. You don't. It's different when you're doing testosterone. They'll give you like you get 4 vials, you'll get 4 syringes and 4 needles. The only problem is they don't give you a drop needle. They only give you an injection needle. That's where it sucks. And it's very viscous, and you don't want to draw it up with the same needle. And you definitely don't want to stick an 18 gauge in your leg. Done it. Go ahead, Jenny. What?
Today, New Hampshire, I believe it was, in the vote in their state legislature, threw out a bill that was a carbon copy of the Texas laws against against trans people, trans children. It was voted out, and they threw it in the garbage.
Good. You said which state?
I believe it was New Hampshire.
Wait a minute. New Hampshire and all those New England states up there are pretty progressive. What idiot tried that in New Hampshire?
Oh, there's some pretty nasty conservatives up there too. Don't kid yourself.
Oh, wait a minute. You're right. Vermont, New Hampshire do have a lot of. It's when you get below that, Massachusetts and Connecticut and stuff are more liberal. You're right. Those the up top close to Canada, Northeast states do have quite a bit of conservative shit in them.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like Maine keeps sending Susan Collins into the Senate to fuck things up.
Yeah. Honestly, Jupit, you can purchase the needles out of pocket at the pharmacies. As far as I know, if you have a prescription for testosterone, they can give you some different needles. Unfortunately, every needle is only a one-use deal. You know, you use it once like I said, that once that needle hits your skin, it's dull. I reused a needle one time, and it pushed down my skin and then went in, and it fucking hurt. I might as well have stuck an 18 gauge in my leg, so do not do that. No, but honestly, Jupiter, where I get them from is I work at a doctor's office. They let me have any size syringes and needles and stuff I need. I go in and I'll get like the 19 gauge because nobody uses 19 gauges for anything, and they've been sitting there for like a year, and they're just extra needles that someone ordered by accident. So I'll grab the 19 gauge. And then the 25 or 27 gauges, whatever we have the most of, they told me I can have whatever I want. So I usually grab like 6 or 8 of each at a time, 6 or 8 1 ml syringes with the lure lock, which is the one where the needle, the back of the needle, the plastic part locks into it. I prefer those. I do not like the lure slips. Because I put them on too tight and then I can't fucking get them off. And then I'm sitting there trying to fight to get a fucking needle off of an end of a syringe. And I've almost poked myself before doing it.
Well, see, that's why you throw out the syringe and the needle at the same time in a syringe bucket. So you don't have to risk yourself that way.
But you're talking about when you're done with it. I'm talking about switching needles from the draw to the inject.
Oh, you use a draw needle?
Big needle off. I use a big one to draw it up because testosterone you can't draw up with those little needles. It will not draw up like that. Huh. It's a bitch. It's a bitch. Like when I'm doing a 27 gauge.
No, it sounds like more like a bastard because this estrogen, which is a bitch, goes real easy.
It's a fucking bastard. You're right, Jenny. So when you're injecting it, when I'm using a 27 gauge, you can't even, I shouldn't even be using a 27 gauge. They suggest like a fucking 21 or 23 or something. I'm like, fuck that. That shit hurts. So I just sit there with my thumb on it, and you have to like push. So I have to hold it with the base of the syringe with my hand because I have to push so hard with my thumb to get that. I mean, I'm putting some fucking pressure on that. My hands aren't weak. And I'm putting some fucking pressure on that shit. And I have to like really, really push to get that testosterone out of a 27.
Do you
It's
prime your
almost that with a
do you
25.
prime your bottle with air?
Oh, you're talking about the vial?
Yeah.
What's that got to do with the price of rice in China? I'm talking about when I'm injected in my leg.
I'm changing subjects. That's what it has to do with.
Oh, what do I prime it? No, I don't.
Really?
No, I don't need
You
to.
know, your
Why?
draw would be a lot easier if you pump air into it first.
I'm not worried about drawing out of the bottle, honey. I draw it up with like a 19 gauge. Those things are huge. It just sucks it
Yeah.
right out of the bottle.
Yeah,
I
you
don't even have to
probably
pull.
wouldn't have to if you would pump air in, because then the air is going to help
I don't.
push out.
I
Otherwise,
know,
you're fighting against a vacuum.
sweetheart. I understand that. I know that. The point is that I do that at the end when you get to the last little bit, because they tell you to throw out your fucking vials, and I'll be damned if I'm throwing out fucking 1.5 to 2 more injections. So I clean the top with a fucking alcohol swab and get a new needle the next week, and I fucking inject it. I pull it out again. So now when I get down to that last draw of it and there's just a little bit left, I will inject some in, but I don't do it until it gets really low.
Oh, I do it with almost every draw.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm drawing it up with an 18 gauge, so it's fucking huge. That's what they inject the goddamn antibiotics in your ass with. In your ass cheek with is like an 18 gauge. It's the really thick ones. The ones that look like kind of really, really skinny, almost like the skinniest guitar string or piano wire. When they get that small, then you're looking at like a 27 or 30 gauge. And
Do you ever wonder how they make a needle that skinny? How they get a
isn't
hole
that
down the middle of a
amazing?
piece of metal that thin?
Fuck, I don't know. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is when you
how
think about
small
it.
is that? Fuck, I've thought about that before.
And
How
then
small?
to make it razor sharp.
I
You know,
know.
it's amazing. Needles are
Without bending that,
piece
that
heck of
tiny little tip is so fucking precise and so sharp. And if you just bend that a little bit, that shit's not going in your skin. And they are perfectly sharp every time. It blows my fucking mind. It literally blows my mind how they can
that
make them
must be
that. I
pretty
mean,
messy.
the, the I mean, look at those 30 gauges. Okay, so everybody knows 30 gauges are we have the 1-inch 30 gauges. So they're only this long, and they are so fucking tiny, and they are used for like baby and toddler vaccines. So we go through quite a bit of 30 gauges because Heather has a bunch of kids that she sees. And man, those things are just, they look like you can see them like wiggle, and you're like, oh, is that going to snap? Don't be careful. That looks like it's going to snap. But when you're put in the bottle, it's tougher than a toddler's skin when you're going to draw up. But yeah, no, it's just funny. They're so fucking tiny. They don't even look like they have a hole in them. And Heather uses them for Botox, right? She does Botox injections because people pay a lot of money for it. Anyways, she'll go to do Botox and she'll go, wait a minute, you got to aim it up. Oh, okay. So this is where let me keep this forward so I know where the opening is, because when you inject Botox, you put it under the skin. So the whole part, I'm simulating a needle with my hand here. Okay. So the whole part is up. You can't inject it down because where it's at in the fascia and everything. But anyways, point is that those needles are so fucking tiny that she's going with glasses on, and we're all going, I don't know, I don't see it. Michelle, do you see it? Where's that? Oh, there it is. It's almost like I want to put a little magnifying glass in her room so she can stick it. You know what? I'm going to buy her one. That's a great idea. That'll be helpful. Probably save her a few minutes every injection. Anyways, those fucking 30 gauges are just, they look like a little wire sticking out of the end of a piece of plastic. Catnip is safe in New Jersey. I am glad you made it, sweetheart. Oh, you can't dox yourself. You should DM me. Tell me where
Are you up there to go on that date with Bruce Springsteen?
No, they moved her freaking husband. The Air Force moved him up there. They restationed him.
Oh,
So they had to leave Georgia.
Military.
I know, right? And her mom lived right down the road from them. So now they had to move all the way to New Jersey with the kid. So, oh, by the way, Catnip, is your mom going to be able to come up and visit you and shit? Or what's going on with that? Let me know. So I swear to God, I will fucking get some money together to give you gas or airline, whatever. She doesn't have the money to do it.
Well, at least you got the hell out of the South.
Stupid. Needle this, needle that. I'm just gonna jab myself to inject myself with boy juice. Hey, I love my boy juice, let me tell you. You hear my voice when it's down low like that. I like that shit. It sounds good. I love my man juice. You can call it boy juice if you want, jupe it, but I'm fucking about to be 51. It's man juice. Absolutely 100%. Although I think that kind of sounds sick because I'm straight. So maybe we should call it like woman juice so you can get some women. Because I don't want to inject any man juice in me. You know what I'm saying? Sounds kind of gross. Yeah, I'm good on that one. Absolutely 100%.
It's boob food.
Boob food?
Boob food.
What's boob food? Estrogen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess I could call mine, I don't know, nut snack or something. I don't know. Guy said,
I was thinking anger in a can.
Jen, come in. I haven't seen you in forever. I fucking miss you. Where are
Hey,
you?
Jen, come on in.
How's your brother? What's going on? Come in here and talk to me. I sent you a link. And if I didn't, tell me. I'll send you another one if you didn't see it. But
come on in, Jen.
I miss you. I literally have Jenny. I haven't talked to her in like, I don't even know, like 6, 7, 8 months. I don't know. It's been almost like 3/4 of a year since I've like had a conversation with her. I've seen her a couple of places, but otherwise I haven't seen her at all. Testosterone is cocktail. Nice, Jupit. Yes, it is definitely a cocktail. It is definitely a cocktail. Guy, now hold still. You're gonna feel a tiny prick. Hey man, if that's how it is, bro, you need to go talk to your doctor. You know, they can if you can't get it up, they can inject a pump in there and shit, or implant a pump and pump it up, squeeze your left nut to deflate, right nut to pump
we
up.
also call estrogen a fountain of youth.
Okay, Jen.
A drug, because everybody who takes it, they look like they lose 10 years of age.
Okay. I don't know why, but cool. Russ is here too. Hi, Russ. How you doing, buddy? No, Kyle, I'll be 51. And look, dude, it's just a bad lighting. You guys don't know. I'm really wrinkly and shit. Like, seriously, go look at my TikTok. You can see my face better and how wrinkly I am and how I have the things.
You're really wrinkled.
I got these and I got these and, I got wrinkles here and I got scars all over my fucking entire body.
Didn't you start naming your wrinkles? And that one is you call the Death Valley?
I have never named my wrinkles. I don't know where you got that from. I have no idea.
And then the right side of your face is like the Grand Canyon, you call it, or something.
Oh yeah, I have a scar here, and you guys can see it. Wait a minute, see right there, when the shadow hits it just right, you can see the dent. I have a scar there. It was actually, it's weird because it kind of goes up my head a little bit, but I don't know why. It was actually these really horrible, horrible stress pimples I had. They were so bad that my company that I worked for, I took a day off to go to a dermatologist, and they thought I had MRSA, and they took everything out of my truck and threw it away. All my stuff. They threw away my fucking sheets and my pillows and my blankets. Never talked to me about it. And I said, you dumbasses, they're just stress pimples. I don't have fucking MRSA. But here's the weird thing about it, Jenny. This is interesting. These pimples were like no other pimple I've ever seen in my life, okay? First of all. The center of them were like, on a pencil right above the lead, right where the wood starts, like half of a pencil width of a circle. And they were all the way in my head. I could see bone. It was the fucking weirdest thing I've ever had. So they opened, they start out like these huge pimples, and I was like, what the fuck, man? And like the pus would just keep coming out of them. They wouldn't go away. Cause you get a bad pimple, you get a whitehead, you squeeze it and then get the crap out of it, clean it or whatever. And then it goes away in a couple days. This wouldn't go away. This was weeks and it was getting bigger and bigger. I had one here. I had one somewhere over here. And then I had one right here by my,
See, that sounds more like leprosy.
it was gross. It looked like MRSA. I don't blame the trucking company for thinking that, but they could have asked me. So I go see this dermatologist. I'm like, dude, is this MRSA? And he's like, no, it's just really, really bad pimples. The pimple was so bad when, the center, like whitehead part of it, I went to pull it out. It looked like a tapeworm. I'm not kidding you. That's what the pimple was like. The white shit was like a flat ribbon of fucking crap. And I told him that, and he goes, yeah, that's how it comes out. And I was like, I've never heard of this in my life. And I've been around medical shit my entire life. He's like, it's not common. Apparently, he's like, now, I'm not a psychologist or a family physician, but I think you just need to figure out what's going on wrong in your life because you are so stressed out that you're creating this. I have one on my chest. I have one on the back of my neck. And to this day, I have this huge lump scar on the back of my neck. And when somebody cuts my hair just right, you can see it in my hair. So I have them shave my hair up to all the way to the base of my skull because of it. Because it's a huge fucking scar from those. I had like 6 or 7 of them. And now I have these big scars everywhere. They were the most bizarre fucking pimple I've ever seen in my life. It just opened up. It opened up like a boil almost. And I saw the white stuff in there and I tried to squeeze it out and I couldn't get it. And I was like, how much? So I just grabbed tweezers. I grabbed my girlfriend's tweezers. Boy, did I have to sterilize those when I was done. She was pissed. I grabbed her really nice tweezers and I started pulling on it and it just came out like that. It was long as fuck. It was bizarre. I literally thought it was a tapeworm. But then I looked at it and I was like, that's not a tapeworm though. I've seen tapeworms before. I grew up on a farm, like we've all seen tapeworms in some animal or another.
And tapeworms kind of don't live in wounds on your head.
Right. But it literally looked like a tapeworm to me. I like took it over to the light and looked at it again. And said, oh, never mind. It's not a tapeworm. But that's what it looked like. And it was really fucking long. Like it just kept coming. I kept pulling these big pieces out of my fucking head and out of my chin and my chest. It was horrible. And it was just stress. I was that fucking stressed out and unhappy. Yeah. So.
Uh-huh. I see.
Yeah, Jupit, that's the same problem I have. You know what I've decided? Everybody was like, go dye it. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to let it grow in natural. Nope. I've decided against it. I'm buying goddamn mustache and beard dye, and I'm going to fucking dye this shit. I know it's still kind of thin and patchy, but I would rather it look thin and patchy than you can't even tell other than it looks like I have some dirt on my fucking upper lip. And like I've trimmed this. I cut it 3 weeks ago. I shaved it all off 3 weeks ago. It's actually coming in darker. So for you naysayers, kiss my fucking ass. Because now all my chin hairs are coming in black. That were blonde before. But my mustache and stuff up here, it won't come in darker. So fuck it, I'm gonna dye it.
You're gonna end up looking like Rudy Giuliani.
No, God, no. I'm not that stupid, Jenny. I know how to dye. I used to dye my own hair. I used to dye and cut my girlfriend's hair. I know how to dye stuff.
We'll see.
People put it. Guys don't know what they're doing. You're putting it on wrong. You can't make it like one solid blob. That's all I'm going to say. Nobody's hair is one solid color. Ever.
I think that the
except for
I don't know.
Hispanics and Italians.
I don't want to call it hair dye because it's not. It's like this stuff that coats their hair. To hide the gray. What do they call it?
Oh, that's different than hair dye.
I mean, it looks so goddamn fake.
It does. It does.
It's like you put your fingers in a can of some sort of goo and then spread it on your head with a knife.
No, I'm not. No, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah.
I have a whole plan. I've already thought about it. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I have a like I'm like I get obsessed over anything I focus over, anything I think about that's important to me. I get obsessed and I overthink the whole fucking thing. I've thought about how I don't want any color on my lip and how I'm going to avoid that and blah 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 and blah 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 blah. Like I've already thought about all this, Jenny. Trust me, I have. I've literally like ran this shit through my head like 20 times. I literally have a plan on making a little thin plastic, almost like a little thicker than laminate paper plastic that I have at work. I'm gonna put slits in it like it's a comb, and then I'm gonna put it up into my hair, and I'm gonna fucking color my hair, whatever's sticking out from there, and then I'm gonna that way I don't get any fucking dye on my goddamn
why don't you
face.
just get a spent mascara brush?
Because I'd have to do it every single day.
I'm not
And
saying use mascara. I'm saying using the brush.
well, it comes with a brush, but you're still gonna get that shit on your face when your hair's as you know small and short as mine. I'm gonna get it on my face.
Yeah, and it's going to stain your face.
That's why I came up with the idea of the plastic thing with the comb like slits in it.
Oh man, you're going to risk capillary action.
Huh?
If it's a liquid, it can creep up whatever it wants with capillary action. It's
Well, of course, yeah. But
and some little piece of plastic with slits in it isn't going to make any difference.
yes, it will.
Oh, okay, great.
Absolutely. Well, I don't plan on painting
Do
the
it live on the
plastic.
air. I'd love to see it.
I'm not gonna go all the way down to my roots anyways, because that's usually not even fucking natural as it is. People's hair will come out in different colors depending on how long it is. You know, the base of it's dark or light, and then as it goes out, it becomes lighter or darker. So who the fuck? You shouldn't do the base of it anyways. I'm literally just gonna touch a little bit of my hair with it, and I'm gonna put that underneath the tips of my hair so I don't get it all over my fucking face. I have a plan, and then I have rubbing alcohol, so I'm ready.
Do it online so we can watch.
Come on over, Jenny.
No.
I can't leave. I have work. But so if you want, but you want to come over here, you want to come all the way to New Mexico, I will definitely dye your hair as long as it's not pubic or armpit or ass.
No, I don't need any hair dyeing.
Oh, well, then why am I dyeing your hair?
You're not. You dye your hair on the
You
air
just
so we
said-
can watch.
You just said me dyeing your hair.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you said something like
No,
that.
I
Yeah, you
didn't.
did.
I absolutely did not. And the chat will back me up on that.
Who's right?
I
Who's right?
said
No. No.
I said you do it on the air streaming so that we can see you do it.
Okay. No. I'm not talking about gray. I don't care about gray, Jen. It's just that my hair is so gray and blonde, mostly blonde right now, and so fine that nobody can fucking see it until you get like this far away from me. And now I can let it grow out here and people can see that. By now it would be like probably this long if I hadn't trimmed it, because I trim it. Like I don't have to trim it a lot yet, probably, I don't know, once a week. But I trim it like once a week. It would already be down to here. But it would be scraggly ass hair and I'd look like some fucking crackhead. And I don't want to look like that. I want to look neat. So, hey, Jen, do I have you modded? Oh, Ox is there. Ox, right after Jen grabs this link, I want you to delete it for me, okay? Please. Okay, Jen, grab that. Let Ox know when you have it, and then Ox can delete it for me. Or you can delete it when you're done. I think you're a mod. I can't remember. But let's do that so not everybody gets hold of it. Why can't I delete my own posts? And no, I'm not worried about gray, honestly. I don't care if my hair is a mix of medium to dark blonde to light to medium brown with gray mixed in. I have like 4 different colors in my hair. You guys just can't tell. But if you saw me in person, you would see it is really like that. My hair is not as dark as it looks on the camera. So it's just like a medium brown. Oh, you can't delete it. Damn it. Ox, what was I thinking? I shouldn't have put it on TikTok. That was an accident. Or Twitch, rather. Fuck. Ox, why can't you delete my shit for me? Come on, bro. Kidding. Why come I can't find my own stream? That doesn't make any sense. There it is. Yeah, well. Alex, why can't you delete my shit for me? Come on. I didn't turn my volume down. Sorry, guys. I'll do that this time, though.
That's a big delay.
What? Oh yeah, depends on whether it's YouTube or Twitch. Aha! I have her now. Hey, lady, hold on a second.
Hey, John.
Twitch and YouTube are both from StreamYards have a large latency. Usually, it's like 7 or 8 seconds.
Bloody dog. Just get on a stream and he won't stop barking.
Twitch is actually faster. Twitch is actually faster than YouTube from StreamYards.
So, Jen, how you been?
Real time. Hi,
yeah,
beautiful. How are you? Good?
I'm good. I is good. See, I'm in my new studio.
Oh, let's see. It looks like you're in your penthouse overlooking.
It does, doesn't it? It looks like because I'm green screening.
New York City.
You moved up a little bit.
No, that's Perth.
That looks like New York City to me, except there's not a lot of tall buildings in one place.
Yeah. So that's Perth, and for some reason, I think the screen
they have buildings
a bit.
And stuff
I'm
in
getting
Australia
a bit of problems
too.
with the green screen, but I'll fix it later. I don't care at the moment. I can't actually reach the green screen. It's that far behind me.
Oh, really?
Then it goes down. This bit that you see down here is actually on the floor. It's green screen on the floor and everything because I've got the camera angled and so I can sit myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now. Okay.
It's so comfy. That means I can sit for hours in streams, but that looks similarly
Jen B and Jenny sounds like a daytime TV talk show, Ox.
It does. It's the view.
Oh, there you go. There's the correction. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. IQ. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. What's bad, Josh, what's bad is I've said that 2 other times and never thought about it. And Ox has never corrected me till just now. Which means either he didn't give a fuck the last 2 times or he never heard me at all. And he was doing something else until he ignored me. So what's new, Jen? What's going on?
Aside from setting this up, which has taken me a while, and reorganizing, yeah, I've been pretty busy. I mean, I haven't done any streams on my channel for 2 months now, so
I know.
Yeah, I know it's been pretty.
Well, nobody's seen you for about 2 months or so.
It's been long.
Yeah, on Twitter, but yeah, I occasionally have been on Six Pack and been on Clear's channel a couple of times, but only if I could fit them in, and that's been about it. Hopefully that will change back now because I've got this set up and everything. But my youngest daughter, after kind of leaving home, moved back, and I didn't have the house organized for that, and it's sort of an ongoing process. And part of that was shifting my studio and reorganizing and stuff like that. But this is actually a better setup than I had before, so I'm happy with that.
Good.
That it's a whole heap of... Sorry?
How's your brother doing?
Yeah, he's not doing too bad now.
Okay, so I haven't heard anything in like 3 months about it.
He had I think the last time I spoke to you was just after Christmas, so.
Okay, so 2.5 months.
Just before.
Sorry. I know that guy.
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
I had a meeting so today was match day for
Wait a minute. Hold on, Ben.
What?
Jen was in the middle of saying something about her brother. Hold on. Pause. Say that again. Jen.
Fine, I'll leave.
Yeah, probably,
Fine, I'll
let
leave.
Ben go because this dog's going to bark for a while.
He was, last time I heard about her brother, he was really sick and in the hospital, so I just wanted to
He is. Oh, wow. So it was before Christmas I spoke to you then, B.
I think so.
Yeah, so that's about 3 months. Which isn't surprising considering I haven't really been on anyone's streams in the last 2 months anyway. So if you add that out, it kind of works out. But and that I'm sorry about the dog. I'm not going to be able to shut him up.
I'm just ignoring it. It's like a background noise. Just go ahead. You're fine.
Yeah, they did that. You would have known that they did a TIPS operation on him.
Right.
The TIPS has been really good in the sense that he's not building up fluids now.
Oh, good.
So that's worked in that sense. He's had a few other minor issues around it since, but that's to be expected when you have liver failure. So at the moment, they're backburnering his transplant because ideally they want him to be as fit and as ready for that as possible
Absolutely.
when it can
He's gotta
happen.
be
And
in
that
good shape.
this gives them more time and gives them a chance to sort out any other issues he's got and stuff like that. Get him all inoculated, because prior to this, he wasn't able to be inoculated against COVID and stuff like that. So, and he needs that. So to be able to spend time in hospital, you want to be inoculated.
Oh,
So,
yeah. That's where all the bad shit is, in the hospitals.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So they're going to, it's taking this time to sort stuff out, and then they'll reassess in about 6 months what they're going to do. But I mean, there's every chance that, you know, a well-done TIPS operation can give you a couple of years to look for a liver, which is really positive for him. So
that's great.
And who knows what else they'll come up with livers in the next couple of years anyway. There's a possibility, if it all goes really well, he may not need a transplant if something else comes up that they can
who
do.
knows, right?
So,
well, see, the good thing about
wait and see.
The good thing about needing a liver transplant is you don't have to find a whole liver.
Yeah, except they don't do partial liver transplants in WA at all. So you have to find a whole liver. So yeah,
shit.
Well, they don't do live partial liver transplants. I'm assuming if it's a harvested liver, they might use the half to do 2 patients, because that would make sense. But they won't do live liver transplants.
I don't know. This is a good time to ask Ben. Ben, how are you?
Life is. I have not stopped since I got home, because I was trying to tell you guys it's match day. So the 4th years all found out if they matched or not into a specialty. They don't find out where until Friday. So that means tonight I had a meeting about my match, which will be in December. So I'm officially in go mode to start getting ready for residency. So y'all, like, if I'm here sometimes, if I'm not here, sorry, sucks to suck. Like, I got priorities.
You do, and you better make it a priority. Fuck YouTube. Fuck us.
And I haven't.
We'll talk to you when you're
I have
done.
not stopped today. Like,
by the way, Ben,
food
when
poisoning
does it suck to suck?
No, it's like, if anyone needs me and I can't be there, like, that's just how it's going now.
She's kind of like Jenny.
And Ben, you could end up anywhere in the country, right?
Well, I have 7 options. Be an army. I have 7 choices for family medicine.
And which one did you pick? I can't remember. You're talking about your top 2.
Well, I have my top 2, but I could be going to any of the 7 if I want to match at all. It's basically a sorority rush. So it's like, if you rank them and they rank you, cool, you have a spot. If you rank them and they don't rank you, you don't have a spot. So
the fact that you have a spot means that you've been doing a good fucking job, like I said.
Well, I don't know if I have a spot.
Oh, I thought. Oh, wait a minute.
No, it wasn't my match day. It's the 4th year's match day.
Oh, it was the 4th year. Oh, okay.
We have to apply and then rank them, and then they rank us, and there's a point system and everything. And not everyone that applies matches.
Okay, got it.
There are fewer residency spots than there are applicants. And then if you don't match, you go into a SOAP, which every program that has unmatched spots, they open up and they just mad interview all the people who didn't match, and they fight for spots. So I have an advantage with the military, because the fact that the military is paying for me a lot of money to keep me, they have a whole lot of incentive to match everybody. So like, they don't want to let us go. They want to keep us. So
because they've already invested all that money in you.
Well, what'll happen is, if I don't get a spot, I do a GMO tour, either until I match or until I get out of the military. So I'd be like a general medical officer and be able to be deployed and shit. So I'd have a job, but you're like attached to a unit instead. So,
bro,
that would suck.
No, you have to fucking match somewhere.
Well, I'm family medicine, so the likelihood of me matching is like in the 90s%, probably 99%, because
really, okay.
because they need family medicine, and people, it's not that competitive. Like, because people who don't, usually the people, but for residencies, think about, because all the med students, the most people that don't match are the people that try to go for like surgery and barely don't make the cut.
Right.
Like, so who are really, really good applicants, but applied either to programs that they weren't good enough for, or they just didn't apply to enough programs, or something happened. They weren't a good applicant for the spots they wanted. That's usually where it happens. It's not usually for the people that apply family medicine and like did a good job applying for family medicine. Like, that's not what happens.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
it's interesting. What a mess, though. How fucking insane.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Sounds it.
Hi, Mikey. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, it is pretty crazy, though.
Yeah, no, this is a mess.
Yeah, for real. Slowly.
Quiet now.
I was reading IQ's comment. Been slowly climbing my way out of the damn near financial ruin my ex caused. Oh, how much fun.
Oh, wow.
God, you gotta love it, right? $35 get married in front of a fucking justices of peace, and thousands to get back out of it.
Don't get married, just elope.
I mean, I don't know. I would marry Heather, but she would never do that to me, especially since
live together.
Her salary's like, almost 10 times what mine is. I don't think she'd do that to me.
By the way, love your avatar, Jenny.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, it's a new one. Who did that one? I can't remember.
It's one of those cartoon things.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Cool.
Maybe I'll have to do that. I could probably do that on the Face app that I accidentally paid for, so that's good. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Ben said, "Oh, download this and then just cancel it." And I was like, "Oh, cool, man." So I downloaded it and everything. I played with it for a couple days and I forgot about it because I'm ADHD. And then I saw it come out of my bank account.
For it.
So I paid for it. And I still have not used it. Except for when I first used it. We were putting beards on ourselves and playing around. So because I did play beards for about an hour.
You ended up having to pay for it. You paid for your beard.
$30 $30 for 2 hours worth of entertainment. I could have had more fun at the fucking casino with $30 for 2 hours.
Go watch a movie.
Oh my, right? Really?
You could for $30 you should be able to get into at least 2 movies.
I know. I could
Maybe
go
not
back
with
to
the
back, have
popcorn,
4 hours entertainment for 30.
Yeah, 4 hours of entertainment, and you'll have enjoyed it more.
Well, I'm a tight ass.
And you'll have something to talk about with everyone.
I've actually only gambled twice in my life, and one time my ex was like, "Hey, let's go to the casino." We were together at the time. Sure, okay, well, let's go. So we were like, "Okay, we're not bringing our debit cards with us. How much cash are we gonna bring?" And I was like, "Let's do $80 each, and that's it." So we left our debit cards at home, only brought our IDs with us, and $80 in each pocket. And I ended up like pretty much winning almost all mine back. And then I thought, well, fuck it, I don't care. So I took 40 of it and blew it again, and then walked out the door with like 38 or $35 in my pocket. And then I was in Las Vegas at the airport. And for anybody who hasn't been in the Vegas airport, there's fucking slot machines and shit in there. So while I was waiting in between flights for 3 hours, I got bored and went over and bought a roll of nickels off of some lady in one of the little, snack stands. And I played some nickel slots while I was waiting for my fucking plane. But no, that's only 2 times. The most I've ever wasted gambling is probably about $50.
Yeah, same, about $50. But in that $50, I could have walked away with over $250 in my pocket if I'd realized when you should get up from the table and leave.
That's my problem. Oh, just a little bit more. Oh.
My point was that I was at the table, we were playing blackjack, and I got up to $250 up, and they changed the dealer on the table. And that should be a sign that you should go and leave, because
Like
what they've
right
done
then
is
and there, you should have said,
they
"I'm done."
figured
That's
out that
bad
one of the
luck.
dealers isn't doing well, and they put somebody better at dealing on the table,
Which
so
means
that the house
you're
can
not going to
win.
make
So
shit.
you're not going to win now, so you should leave. And I should have realized that and got up and left. $250 up, should have just left.
Right.
I've never been in a casino.
Carol. Carol said, tried marriage 4 times. Better to just live in sin. I love it.
Now, were those 4 different marriages or 4 marriages to the same person?
I don't know. Were those 4 separate marriages, or were you remarrying the same dude because you guys were wishy-washy 4 times? Inquisitive Quandary, Josh says, a wise man once told me, if it floats, flies, or fucks, don't buy, rent. It's cheaper in the long term to rent. Yep. Okay, there you go. Floats, flies, or fucks. Yep, there you go. That's a fact. I like it.
I
Don't
kind of like
buy,
that. That's
rent
pretty
it.
funny.
That's pretty funny. Oh my goodness.
So
Hey,
if you're horny for a particular
I'm going to have to open the door and let the dog in here, just so he doesn't keep barking. I don't want him in here. He'll end up sleeping on top of the green screen.
Jenny, say what you said again. I'm sorry. I was trying to read the chat and listen to Jen, and blah, blah, blah. I missed something. What'd you say?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm penalizing you.
I hate it when you do that because I'll miss it, and I don't want to be rude to the next person who's talking. And then by the time I get back to you, you're like, nope. There's so much information and comments out there that Jenny has never told me because she just refused to repeat it. Now I'll never know. And I will go to my grave wondering and wondering and wondering.
You see, but comedy only works with timing. Comic timing is the essence of comedy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if it's always comedy.
Aside from that, well, Jenny is a woman of mystery, and this is how she keeps her mystery.
Dun, dun, dun,
no, I just keep my pants on for that.
Keep your pants on for that. Is that what you said?
Yep, it's a mystery what's down there. Does it have teeth or not?
The kingdom has a snapper.
Oh my god.
That's an old movie.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Aw, kitty.
Oh yeah, he's a big lover. Now every time I'm streaming, he's
Not a fighter,
at least 1 to 3 times. He does it every time. I think it's because he doesn't hear you guys talking and he thinks I'm talking to him. I don't know why, but he just.
So does he fly, fuck, or float?
Nope. He doesn't. He's fixed too. He didn't do anything. Him and his sister fixed just in case. I fixed both of them, just in case.
Now, did you get them as little kittens?
I did her. When I got her, she was only this long, and not counting her tail, which was sticking up in the air. She was only this big, and I snuck her out of the house because my friend's kids didn't want any of the cats to be. They wanted to keep all the kittens from both litters that were back to back.
Yeah.
And they were from the second litter. So I stuck her underneath my vest, and it was wintertime, and I stuck her underneath my vest. And then when we got out the door, she popped her head out my vest, and she stayed like that the entire ride home. And she just went this way. And so I had my son drive, and I sat in the passenger seat holding her and just kind of rubbing her head. And she was just watching everything and all interested. And she was a cute little fucking nugget when I got her. And she didn't even meow. She never meowed really. She squeaked a little bit, like a little squeak, little tiny squeak. I can't do it because my voice won't go up that high anymore. Anyways, she would do this little tiny squeak, but that was it. And then when he started living with us, then all of a sudden she was like, "Oh, I can meow now." And I'm like, "You fucker." Because he taught her how to meow. No, he was adopted by my son's girlfriend at the time. And he was cat number 9. And so then she decided she couldn't have all those animals, and she was going to take him to the shelter if my son didn't find a home for him. And so I said, "Oh my God, go get the fucking cat. I'll take him. Like, it's my cat's brother. I'm not going to, just take him to shelter." I mean, I wouldn't do that with any cat, but so he's very food dominant and very he'll meow at me if there's not enough water in the bowl. If there's not enough food, the food has to be mounded up to make him happy. The litter box has to be clean. He's in charge of all that stuff. He's like, he scouts all day and checks shit out, and then he bitches at me. Hey, it's time for TREATs now, so you should give those to me now, because it's this is the time you usually give them to me.
Well,
Dad.
he sounds like a
he
good
knows.
Cat.
Oh no, he's a good cat besides that, but he's just very
usually
funny.
used cats aren't worth the fur they're printed on.
So. Whatever. Shut up.
Oh, IQ's moving to Pittsburgh. Isn't that where Perps lives?
He's a pain in the ass sometimes, but he's a good boy. He's a lover.
Not
he's
a fighter.
Just big, and he thinks he's little still, and he'll just like flop on me and jump on me and knock the wind out of my fucking gut. And so it's a pretty good drop from the bed to me. I have a loft bed, so
it's all right. I've just had a kitty come in here.
And she was all like judgmental of me, this woman that had him. But when I got him from her, his ears were absolutely 100% black with mites. I mean, black. There was you could see no flesh in his ears. And I had to clean out his ears every day, 2 times a day. I did it every morning. And when I got home from work, with that ear mite stuff, and I would soak it in there, and like he would get mad. Oh my God, he hated it, and it made his ear itch even worse than what they already did. So he really didn't like it. And but I'd hold him down on the bathroom sink where he couldn't go anywhere, and it didn't matter if the shit got spilled, and I'd clean his ears out every day, 2 times a day for 2 weeks before I got all that black shit out of his ears. So now he loves his ears to be rubbed. It's almost like he's got a phantom itch there or something. I don't know. It's weird. So, but he was horrible. He was thin. His coat was dirty. He had ear mites. He had fleas. Ooh. When I got him. Yeah, it was bad. But Dad fixed it all, huh, buddy? Yeah. Cost Dad a lot of money.
It's going to be a puppy in shot.
What's that?
Puppy in shot.
No, there's puppy in the shot.
Your dog's behind you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, introduce us.
He's lying on the green screen, which is all right because it's better.
Oh my God! Okay, I gotta go for a minute. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Come here, boy.
We gotta hold down the fort.
I can talk. I turned off my camera and mic because I was eating, and Ox hates it when I eat on stream. So
yeah, I didn't enjoy it until after I finished eating.
So it's been a while since I've seen Jen.
It's been a while. Well, I haven't done anything for 2 months because of stuff and busy and everything, which I sort of already explained earlier. So
yeah.
So yeah, no one's really seen aside from maybe Claire and Jay and people. Well, I mean, I've interacted with people on Twitter. Aside from that, no one's really seen me for the last 2 months from people online. So, but it's good now because I got the new studio set up. I turn off the green screen, and you guys could see that it's huge, but it's not finished, so I won't. It's a case of at the moment it's the big old green screen up the back there, but
ruff, ruff.
The doggy,
yeah, Mandu,
other side.
He moved to the other side.
Yeah, puppy. Hello.
Up. Come on, pup. Up.
Yeah, he will jump on me. And he's big.
We'll have to do something sciencey in the near future, Jen.
We will. We'll have to have some fun. What you doing, Mandy? Are you on the screen?
Oh, he's got floppy ears.
He does. He also
needs
a
floppy
to shave.
dog.
He's at that point where he needs a trim.
What mix is he?
Sorry?
Is he a mix?
Yeah, wow. He's a Cavalier. So
oh, okay.
Cockalier, sorry. Cavalier King Charles.
Yeah, that's how they look.
Cross. So and the other puppy, which is tiny, is hiding some. I have no idea where he is. He's a cockapoo. So yeah. No, Cavapoo. Cavalier crossed with a poodle, miniature poodle. He's adorable too, but he's
Cavapoodle.
Cavapoodle, yeah. He's tiny at the moment because he's only like 10 weeks old, but he has no fear. He will attack this one without even thinking about it. Just run up and attack. Fine, I don't care. You're only bigger than me and scarier, but no, I'm not afraid of anything. So, cute dog. And the cat's up there. Well, one of the cats is up there, but she won't come over. Where's Silver? Silver, you want to come? Come here. Come here, kitty. No. Won't come. But the dog will. Mandy, you want to come up? Puppy, you want to come? Mandy, come on. Puppy, come. Nope. He doesn't want to come up. He's on the other side now. Hello, baby.
Fine.
Sorry, he's a good dog.
So Ben, how was your last rotation? I haven't heard you speak of it at all.
What, my last one or this one that I'm on right now?
The one you're on right now.
It's garbage, but it's fine. It's cardiology, so I'm never around. And I also hate it, so.
It's all about affairs of the heart, so.
Well, yeah, but cardiologists are also assholes. Like it's basically another surgery rotation, but it's different because whereas the surgeons are like very outspoken assholes, like these guys are like they don't talk about being assholes. Like they come across as very nice people until you learn about like their political leanings and shit, and then you're like, wow, you're a.
Isn't that pretty much all the way with all the specialist surgeons, all the people who are specialists in our fields?
The specialties at like the highly specialized fields attract the either weirdest people or just like the least approachable people. Like that's how it goes. Like
because that's been my experience with all the doctors Rob's had with in the liver department. They are just all absolute bastards. So hard to deal with.
They go into the specialties like, I mean, they're so competitive, and then you're taking so many years out of your education to go do it. And like, sure, you get a pay raise. But it's like, are you doing this for the pay raise? Or are you doing it so you seem smarter than everybody else? Do you think you're smarter than everybody else because you did the specialty? Like, and oftentimes it's a combination of all of the above. But
yeah,
like, I don't know why they have to be such assholes about it, but they are. The majority of them are. And I don't like it. I don't like the environment. And that's it. I don't like it.
I still have to see my heart specialist, so I don't know what kind of asshole he'll be, but
yeah, I don't like them.
I've only spoken to him on the phone so far, so but I do know what the results were of my scan. So I've got flexible plaque buildup on all four main arterial entries into the heart. So you've got your, you know what I mean.
What percentage?
You know what I mean, Ben. It's not bad. They're describing the buildup as mild, but I also have narrower than normal veins that enter the heart anyway. It's a congenital thing. Plus, I have damage from the mild heart attack that was earlier. So they're looking at it and they're all saying, look, everything still comes under the point where we'd be happy doing surgery, but we know you're having problems with it. So what we want to do is figure out diet and lifestyle changes that we can help you apply that will help and see if we can get everything manageable so that we can wait a few years before we have to do any surgery. But surgery at the moment is like... stents to widen and clean out the arteries and
I mean stents normally if you have more than 3 arteries affected they usually don't stent, they usually go straight to a bypass.
The bypass. Okay, well they were actually talking stents even though there's more than
I don't know what the
affected, but
there might be something different in how Australia practices versus how
I think it's because it's still considered really mild, and because I caught everything really early, they're like, oh, we're going to sort it out. We know you have problems with the way it is, but we think we can manage it and maybe make sure it doesn't get too much
it depends on where the blockage is too. If it's where in the arteries they are and how much they branch and all that. So Like there are
Yeah.
factors that play into it, but
And the fact that it's flexible and not the solid stuff is actually beneficial, or something that was being explained. So, but I don't have all the details. I only have what the GP said to me, and he used to work with a heart specialist, so he's fairly keyed in. But I won't have all the details till I actually speak to the heart specialist. But what is they probably won't want to do anything with you for a couple of years. See how things go, see if we can manage things. And he goes, we could put you on drugs. Because I had
drugs.
Yeah, well, I had my cholesterol checked last year and it was fine. It was in normal ranges for my age. And that was after I'd had the minor heart attack. So I'm like, he goes, we're going to get your cholesterol checked again. We'll see if it's come up or anything, just in case that's part of being a contributing factor and we just happened to take a test at a time when you were low or something. But he said if your cholesterol is high, we might look at drugs and stuff, and I'm not overly keen on that because there are side effects from taking the cholesterol reducing drugs.
Well, there are, but the fact that especially statins are so widely used and pretty much like given to everybody, it's amount of risks and benefits and it definitely reduces the risk of MI so much that we are recommending high dose statins to literally everybody with an indication.
So I don't know whether they will or they won't go that route and say, look, we're going to put you on statins anyway, just because we've caught you so early. It might be in our interest to do everything we can to make sure you don't ever have to have surgery and you don't ever have a big heart attack or anything. So
I mean, I'd probably do it.
And you won't mind losing your ability to orgasm. What the hell? You're too old anyway.
But yeah, I'll wait and see what the specialist says, because I mean it's his choice, really, not the GP's. But in the interim, the GP is going to start with I'm going to see a dietitian about the best things to do with my diet to help with everything. And I'm one of those people who stress eats, and I know I stress eat. And I said to him, I really would like some help with sorting that out so I don't stress eat, because the worst part about stress eating is I've been stressed because of everything that's going on and I can't exercise at the moment, which used to be the way I used to cope with my stress eating was, oh, I know I'm going to eat. Oh, it's stressy. I'll go and exercise, because that would stop me wanting to eat. But I can't do that now because I've been told, I can only do a certain amount of exercise. And the type of exercise that I found easy for me to do before, which was lots of walking, I've been told I'm not allowed to do unless I have someone go with me. And I don't have somebody I can just call up on a moment's notice and say, go walking with me. And now that we've got the little puppy, Kylie can't go with me either, because we can't take the puppy walking, because we've got to wait a couple more weeks before he gets his last injection before he can go. I mean, once that's through, I can probably start going walking a couple of times a day, which will help with stress and stuff. But up until then, I can't do anything. And I'd like alternatives, like if it's pissing down with rain, I don't want to go walking either. So it's like, I want other methods. I want other things. So I'm happy to go and have some therapy to try and figure out why I stress eat and get it and overcome that, because it's not healthy. Stress eating is dreadful. So I want to get all this stuff sorted. Yeah, I want to get all that stuff sorted so I can be healthier and I can deal with this. Because I'm all for not ever having to have open heart surgery. That would be awesome.
Ben, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So when they open your chest, they're cutting right down the middle of the sternum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so they spread you open and they do whatever they're going to do, and they put you back together, and they staple it closed, right?
They use wire.
Okay. Does that wire stay in there forever?
It stays in there for a long time. I'm not a surgeon.
Yeah, it depends what the wire is, wouldn't it? A lot of things bones calcify over, so I would assume you might find that the bones calcify over the top.
I would assume they stay in, but I don't know.
Does the sternum actually knit itself back together?
I don't know the answer to that. I mean,
Okay.
bone generally heals after a long time, but I don't want to give answers I don't know.
Fair
I'm not
enough.
a surgeon.
I would assume so, because as Ben said, most bones heal. But yeah, I mean, if you have a if you have plates put in to rejoin a bone, the bone itself will eventually heal. It's a bloody dog. Why don't you just come back in here, dog, instead of go outside and bark at birds? Yeah, because I know this from my sister. Absolutely shattered her thumb with a lawnmower. Not with the blades, with the pull start. And she ended up with 2 plates in it, 2 small plates in it, and screws and everything to do it. And the screws, about 10 years later, started digging through the skin. So they removed the screws and the plates, and because the bones had fully healed by that stage. So they did a second op and took all the plates and the screws out, and the bone was fine at that point because, of course, it had the time to grow and re-heal, you know. So yeah, my thing would be that my thoughts would be that the sternum would be the same. It would eventually heal back up, but I guess it would take a fairly long time.
Yeah, it's my hypothesis, but I don't have a
I guess you
definite
could ask.
timeframe.
You could ask like what Sweet about that, right? They glued Sweet back together, his skin. Boy, that's a lot different than when I got cut in half. Big staples stuck in me.
Yeah, they're gentler now.
Yeah, it's God, how much it's changed in the last almost 17 years now.
It's been, let's see, I had my bypass in 2008.
Was that keyhole, or did they cut you open?
They cut me open.
Oh, so you've got one of those scars.
Yes.
Zipper.
Yes, I do.
The zipper.
Zipper scar. That's what I have.
Yeah,
Mine just goes around my side instead up in the middle of my chest.
Yeah, they actually do them with keyhole now, though, don't they? With some.
I was thinking of having a tattoo made and actually have it be a zipper over that scar.
That'd be cool.
You know what I was gonna do? I should have done it right away, but that whole area was so sensitive. And then by the time it healed up enough, I thought that I could take someone poking it with a needle, like tattooing it. The feeling started coming back around it, and it's so sensitive. It's weird because it's numb there, but if someone pokes me there, the nerves around it go like nuts, and it hurts like a fucking bitch. It's crazy.
This is
it's
why
still sensitive to this day.
But tying it back to being about a trans themed thing, that is why gender reassignment surgery can be so effective, despite the fact you always end up with some scar tissue from it, is because the nerves around the scar tissue become hypersensitive. So you can get, people don't lose sense. Most people don't lose sensitivity if it's done by a good surgeon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
The key words, good surgeon.
Good surgeon.
Yeah.
That's why I just
I had to add that because it does happen. And
that's why I
just
insurance
surgery is getting better.
Because I had picked a surgeon, and then Heather was like, "Well, it's going to be like it was going to be months and months because she's under the elective board, so she would get kicked to the side for her surgeries. So her surgeries keep getting pushed back further and further, and she's already out like 8 months from now, and for a consultation because her surgeries are so far out. So I don't know, just a lot of surgeries going on right now, I guess. But so I said to Heather, I said, "Is there anybody you recommend?" She goes, "Actually, I really have somebody I like better than that doctor." And I didn't want to say anything because it's your decision, but if it was me, I would go to this person. And I said, "Okay, good." So I changed insurance companies. So because it's a local, like hospital affiliate insurance. It's not the greatest insurance. It's horrible, but it will cover a lot because she's part of the she works in the company exclusively for them.
So do you have a date? I assume this is your top surgery?
Yeah, but I'm just switching insurances. So this pay period, it'll pay my new insurance. First premium will be paid, and then I'll get my card and shit because I haven't paid. I literally just switched it.
I was being educated the other day by a television program, and I'm wondering if this is actually true. I read that top surgery for trans men is different to actually having a mastectomy, because the surgery has to be done
It's different.
differently so you get a different
result.
So you get a more natural
I
looking
thought it-
masculine result rather than
Mhm.
because a mastectomy generally leaves a concave result, doesn't it? So
Oh yeah, and a lot of people that go through a mastectomy will also get a reconstruction.
Right.
yes, so they're not as worried about.
Yeah.
So effectively, top surgery is more like a mastectomy with a masculinizing reconstruction done at the same time.
Yeah.
See, I learned.
There you go.
As I understand it, there is a woman who who had a voluntary double mastectomy
Okay.
because she had the bad genes.
Oh yeah, people do that.
Plenty
Yeah,
of
do
she's
people
that
do
quite
that, yeah.
she's quite young, very attractive. And she's all healed now and back at work, and everything is going great, and she feels wonderful and all this good stuff. She has been asked to be a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Oh wow.
Did she get it? I'm assuming she got implants.
I don't know what work she did. That's not my business. All I know is that she had reconstructive done. At the
Well,
same
if she had a double mastectomy and they want to put her on swimsuit thing, it's usually because she has really nice boobs. So I thought I would
Well,
ask.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She had reconstructive work, whatever it was. It's not my business, but yes, it appears that she did.
Some form
It's
of
just
it.
I just saying it's. I think that's really good for the confidence that other women might have if they have to have a
Yeah.
mastectomy and would hope to be able to get reconstructive surgery. I think insurance should be paying for that right along with the mastectomy itself.
It should
You know,
be.
it's
It really should
great.
be.
Agreed. Damn, what was I gonna say? I lost it. I'll think of it in a minute. Something to do with that. Yeah, so that wasn't cool. Anyways, trying not to be angry right now.
No, you have every right to be angry. You have every
I'm
right
not,
to be angry right now.
dude. That was because I was like,
You have every right
okay.
to be angry. It wasn't
I
cool.
said,
Yeah, because you.
I said I don't accept this via text. Please call me. And then it said, do not take this as being real. And I said, well, of course not. I'm not crazy. And I said, and she's not either, and I'm a hell of a catch. But what it said is a whole different ball of wax. No, that wasn't cool.
I hope those kids get in trouble for that, because
I'm telling you, that last one was to save the son's butt. That's what just happened.
I hope she still at least has a talk with them.
Yeah, totally.
Because they at least deserve a talk about it.
Yeah. Watch this. I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Can you not dig claws in, pretty cat?
What's that?
Cat's digging its claws in.
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
boobs.
lovely. Is that a female cat?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like with me, the female cats always want to lay on my chest like this with their head tucked under my chin. And boy cats
mean
always
like
want to lay this way. Huh?
You mean like this? Yeah.
Yeah. And the boy cats want to lay like sideways across you or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just what I'm thinking. Seems like something.
She just likes laying on my boobs. So, fair enough. There's plenty there to lay on. So
All the boob talk tonight.
men's and women's.
Boobies.
We haven't been sexist about it.
Boobs are a good thing.
Yeah, would you be mad, bro?
I'd be so mad. I'd be
Dude,
so.
that's not
That's not
cool.
okay.
That is not.
That's not
cool.
okay. This is not okay.
Anyways, moving on.
How's your love life going back?
There's been lots of outside interference. As far as what I actually had a and anybody doesn't know in the chat, I'm fine. I don't care who knows. I had what I call a PTSD flare up recently. And I think what's that been like? It's been like a month and a half, 2 months now, I think. I don't even know. Time seems like it's flying by so fast because of work. I had it at work and kind of lashed out in a sarcastic way. It's almost like it should have came out sarcastic but sounded mean to my girlfriend. And she has been mentally and verbally and physically abused before. So when she saw this shit coming out of me, she kind of went, what the fuck? And backed away from me for about a week. And we talked and everything. And I'm now going to a therapist. And actually my next appointment is mañana. So that was I said, well, maybe I can get something done to make this not so severe when it happens. And maybe where I can get to the point of controlling it. Because that's the problem I have with it is I literally don't have any control over my actions. It's not like I hurt people or hit people. I'm not that person. But
It's a verbal
what
thing.
comes out of my mouth is fucking horrible. And after it happens and after I calm down, I'll go, oh, what the fuck oh my God, what did I just fucking do? And it's usually like 15 to 30 minutes later that it just hits me, like the repercussions of my actions. So we talked and everything, and she did not ask me to seek therapy or anything. I said, maybe I need to do this. Maybe this is one of the things that's been interfering with my past relationships. So let me see. I'll try a fourth or fifth, whatever it's been now, therapist. I'll try again. This guy's actually really nice. I get along with him really well. I feel very comfortable with him. I've never felt comfortable around a therapist in my life. And this is the first person I've ever felt really comfortable around. He deals with a lot of people in the LGBTQIA++ community. And he said, I know this is going to sound very cliche. This was funny as hell. He said, I know this is going to sound cliche, but I have a lot of great gay friends. And I said, really, Mike? I said, I have a lot of black friends too. And he busted up laughing because it sounded so cliche. But I really do have a couple of black friends, like 5 or 6,
when you make the statement, when you make the comment, it totally sounds racist. I told a story about
anybody knows me knows
a boyfriend
racist.
I had on Friday. Oh no, on Saturday. It was on Claire's channel. And just before I said it, I said, to tell this story properly, it's going to sound racist, and I apologize to everybody. And when I got to the point where I won't do it. I won't tell it again. But when I got to the point of it, a couple of people in the chat go, "They're so racist," and I go, "I warned you it would sound racist. It isn't racist. This guy was absolutely lovely and brilliant, and I lost him as a boyfriend because of what I said, and I regret it completely." And it was a complete accident. It was not like deliberate or anything. It wasn't a thingy, but it totally drove into stereotypes that I was a fucking moron. So it was like, it happens, and you don't even mean things, and it's best when people can laugh about them, and as long as and we know it's not racism and stuff, but.
I am definitely the first. Actually, anybody that knows me in this community knows I hit on all the black chicks sooner than I do anybody else in this community. I'm not into pale skinned white chicks or blondes or any. I'm just not. It's just not my thing.
So I've always liked
dark. I've always liked dark-eyed, dark-haired women with more of like an Italian or Indian or Hispanic or black or whatever complexion. I don't know why. Women with skin as pale as mine, they don't do anything for me. I don't know. Just does nothing for me. But there's something more exotic about them, I guess is what it is. So, and Heather, although she's not Italian, looks like she is Italian. So she has the perfect, I love it. She looks so like perfect height. Yeah, it's all good. So I got people DMing me on Twitter about shows coming up. Sorry. 1 second. Nope, that's not right. 9 p.m. Eastern.
You need more light in that room, B.
Why you can't? I can see fine. You can't?
I don't care if you can see. The camera can't see.
Well, you don't want to see how wrinkly and ugly I am. You guys won't think I'm hot anymore. I don't want to tell anyone.
Well, I don't think you're hot anyways. But
oh, okay, good.
The bitchiness starts. The bitchiness starts. Don't eat that, dog. It's electric.
Bolt. We got Bolt in the chat.
Someone was thinking that show we were talking about doing with them was going to be on Wednesdays, and I said no. That's my stream night. We didn't say Wednesdays. We said Tuesdays or Thursdays. That's what Ben and I agreed to.
Wait, which? That show.
Yeah, the one that we're going to start doing monthly.
Okay.
So, Bolt and Crypta, what's up? Crypta Maria said, I'm so pale I glow in the dark. Been a long winter. See, I like, you guys know how Bolt has the dark hair and the better, the little more olivey, a little darker complexion. Like, if he was a chick, I would totally hit on him. Yeah. That's perfect complexion. Wrong body parts.
Did you get an email about that show, or where did you find out they were doing that?
She's been DMing me on Twitter for him.
Oh, okay. It's like, because no one's been contacting me about things.
No, that's why I asked you about it. She's been kind of talking to me. I don't know, just because we're buddies, I guess. She just
talking
to me about it.
I was like, because if we're scheduling things, like, I need to be contacted too, because I have to figure out my life bullshit.
Right. No, absolutely. She actually came to me. I'm going to brag a little bit. I felt very honored by this because I just feel like a nobody most of the time. But anyways, not the point. So she got a hold of me on Twitter a couple months ago and was like, hey, I'm dating this person and I can't tell anybody right now, but I get one person that I can tell and I know you won't say anything. So I'm going to DM you and tell you. And so she told me about them and I was just like, oh, it was so sweet, but I couldn't tell anybody.
They're cute.
And I literally didn't tell anybody. Yeah, they're adorable. And he's like right up her. She likes like the older white chunky guys, like whatever, older white dudes. And that's why I used to hit on her and go, how you doing? I'm going to be an older chunky white dude.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? No.
How you doing?
God, I'm so old. She's only a couple years older than my son. Like she's in that 5 year.
You also have a partner
zone.
And you're monogamous.
And well, yeah, no, absolutely. I used to hit on her before. I'm not talking about now. I would never disrespect either one of them like that anyways. No, Bolt, I really don't want to see a picture of what you look like as a woman. I am scared. No, thank you, sir. Let's just leave the Bolt alone. Okay. Let's just leave it where it is, bro. Don't. But I thought B was Ben's secretary. Well, I do try to communicate with people about stuff because I know Ben is really fucking busy and he's got better shit to do than debate about days and stuff. I know what days he's available. Him and I have already discussed it. So yeah, I'll do a little fucking secretarial work and talk to people that I love and care about anyways to set things up for Ben and I for other channels. Sure. It's no big deal. Oh, I'm sure you're hot as fuck as a woman, Bolt. I'm sure you are. I mean, guy, as a woman, I'm sure you are. I'm kidding. I love Bolt. He's my buddy.
Is Bolt telling us their egg is cracking?
No. Nope, definitely not Bolt. No egg cracking there. Nope. Nope. Tighten your Uranus. Here you go. Here, just in case you need a new one. You ready, Tony? All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Titan Uranus said, I did a filter and enhancement thing. Turns out I make a damned hot woman. Well, there you go. See, it's funny because you guys ever look at somebody that's trans and then you go, how the fuck were you like with Ben? I don't understand how Ben ever like tried to pull off female because he looks like so much like a dude.
I don't know how I did that either.
Like
That
you
was
look at him
ridiculous.
and you go, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the way it is. You know, you look at like a trans guy or trans woman, and you look at him and you go, man, you would have made an ugly man or woman. You know what I mean? But now that they're themselves, they're beautiful. But you look at them and you're like, there's just no. How could you even? Nope.
There's this thing of this before and after, and I do not have. My mum still has pics of me from before, but I don't have any pics of me from before.
I don't blame you.
But well, I mean, there's so little of before. Basically, high school and my early 20s, and that is it. Because most of my life was either a little tiny kid who was fairly androgynous as a kid anyway, or post transition. So there's a bit like Johnny.
Yeah.
There isn't much of that time in between at all. So, you know,
well, I mean, I have like pictures of me with my family,
and I hated being a teenager, and I hated me, so I stayed out of photos as much as I could. So
That's for sure.
of course, I am Titan.
So there's not that many of them, and I don't really mind pictures of me when I was well, you know, when I was like 10 or younger, because I look fairly androgynous and everything, and
I was gonna say I've always dressed androgynous, and then when I went in the army, I chopped my hair off, and then I grew it back out for a while because my ex-husband, he really wanted me to. He asked me to have long hair. We had like a trade-off deal. I keep long hair. We don't have a lot of sex. It was kind of like that. Like it was perfect. So I kept my hair long for him. And then after that, when I came out, I've chopped it off. It has never been longer than. Like this is the most my back has gotten long in the back of my head since 2001. Like I've always dressed androgynous. I've had short hair most of my life. And the only pictures I have are pictures of like with me, with my kid and my family. And I'm never going to get rid of those. So I just don't, I don't have like a bunch of pictures because back then people didn't have, you didn't have phones and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up in the era where you actually were using film if you took photos. So there aren't photos of me for people to see. The digital era came in after I transitioned, and so there's lots of photos afterwards, but not.
I don't like the fact that in those photos I have obvious boobs. That is always like I've always gone, ugh. Why are those there? Why does that's such a good picture of me? Why do those have to be there? So that part sucks about it. But luckily, I was never big chested, and a lot of them, you can't really, it's not prominent. You can't really tell. So, it's just the way
they were
it is,
hideable.
Yeah,
I was thankful for that.
Except for when I was really fat and they were big. That was horrible. That was literally horrible.
I was thankful for that as a teen with it. At least they were hideable because the teasing I got was dreadful.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I always try to like strap mine down and hide them. I always know when someone's not comfortable with their chest or the front of their body, like stomach area, because people do this. I spent years just hunched over. My mom used to like pick on me. Stand up straight and I'd go, yeah, and she'd walk away and I'd do this again. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. I was trying to hide my chest my entire fucking life. And I never realized I was doing it until I was in I was almost 40, I think, by the time I realized it.
Yeah, 85 or 86, I can't remember, till around 1990 was when I was in high school. Because I can't remember the dates properly, I'm sorry. But I was really lucky because the high school I went to was only like 5 years old when I came to it. Mm-hmm. And the changing rooms in it had individual shower cubicles, which you could change in after you had your shower. So the kids did not have to change in front of each other.
Purple, no, you aren't. Let me send you a new link. Maybe it's a bad one or an old one or something. Hold on. Let me send you a new link.
Here, John, I put up for you a different picture.
So I think that was probably pretty unusual for the 90s to actually have a high school changing room that actually had independent cubicles for the students, so that they didn't have to change in front of each other.
I did.
I mean, there was an
purple one
open area
earlier.
that kids could change in as well, but those kids who are uncomfortable with it could change in away from the other kids. Which
That should just be standard everywhere. Like every locker room
I agree.
should have at least one separate changing room for people to use.
I don't see the problem with having separate cubicle areas for each of the showers.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
you have
sorry,
a little
Purple.
changing
That
area in front
message
of
never sent, but you have it now. That's weird.
So,
I remember
so
saying.
for me, it was great because what with being intersex and having breast development as a teenager, having to change in the boys' change room was horrendous for any who found. I got teased for it.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, I can't even imagine.
Having to change in front of people was just not great. I was ecstatic that I had tits, but I was not happy that I had to change.
I didn't. Well, yeah, I couldn't imagine your position. I didn't mind being in the changing in the girls' locker room. It just made me feel very uncomfortable because I was attracted to some of them, and I felt like I was being like a peeping tom. So I was kind of like doing this all the time, like don't look at me, leave me alone, and I would like shower real quick and change real quick and get the fuck out of there.
I just never felt like I belonged with them.
Yeah, me either. I always felt like I was like a fucking pig and with a bunch of
To be fair, Beck, for me, the attraction thing wouldn't have made any difference whichever changing room I was in, though.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I would have.
And there's that.
I would have felt it either way. So there was no
now,
win.
Ben, but that wasn't like that in high school.
No, changing rooms in school were a nightmare because I was just this totally scrawny little thing. I got bullied all the time.
Honestly, the only time I used them in high school was to change for practice or a game, and then I would go home and whatever I was wearing. People are going to shower. I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking bathe at home. But it was just a way for me to get the fuck out of there and not have to walk back in there again. Yeah. So I would just go because I could leave like bra and underwear on, and I would go down to that and put my clothes on really quick, and I'd try to get in there before everybody and get the fuck out. And I wouldn't. I mean, no one ever. I don't know why anybody never noticed. I was never in that fucking changing room, and there was in the locker room. There's a bunch of women in there. Ever. There'd be like one or two stragglers coming in, or leaving or whatever, and I'd get the fuck out of there. I felt like tense. I still do. I mean, even just a few months ago when I went into fucking, I was at the gym and went into the damn changing. I didn't know which one to go into. I had to take a shower. I had to go to work. So I was like, go in there, get caught and get killed by men, go in here and nothing will happen if they see me without clothes on. So I went in there because I was, it's a gym. You don't want to piss off the guys, right?
Yeah.
Big dudes. Yeah. Anyways.
I've started to have that problem.
Oh, Ox, I've seen more tits and pussy than you can imagine. I'm sorry, Purple, go ahead.
I've started to have that problem now that anytime I go to use a restroom in a store, that I have to check myself to figure out which one I'm supposed to go into now. Which one do I look more like today?
Get over here.
Well, it's a very difficult thing to experience. For the chat folks, it really is scary as fuck. You don't know which one you should use. And especially today, it was a problem 20, 30 years ago for me. Okay. And it's even bigger problem today with all the hate that's going on.
Yep.
I feel just terrible for the folks today.
And even if you're a trans woman who passes 99% of the time, and no one passes all the time, it's bullshit. Anyone who says they do is lying, because even cis women get called out for being trans when they're not. So there is no such thing as somebody who passes all the time.
It's true.
So the fear is always there, and you're acutely aware of it if you're a trans person, that somebody may challenge you. And if that somebody is a complete asshole, it could make your day the worst possible. I mean, I fortunately live in a country that's not too bad as far as all that stuff goes. And I have never personally been challenged, but I know people who have in Australia who've been challenged. And I know lots of you in the US who have. And UK is even worse. So, I mean, it is dreadful, and it is a case of being fearful.
I don't know what NB folks are going to do. I just have no idea what they do. Because they're going to be in that dilemma every day the rest of their lives if they've
My
come out as
personal
MB and
opinion.
stuff.
My personal opinion is like I think I've said this before. Because the town I live in now is quite small. It's total population for this region is between 2,500 and 3,000 people. The town itself, town center itself, is about 2,000 people. And there is only one supermarket here, but the main supermarket here has 3 public toilets, and they are all unisex disabled. So you want to go and use the public loo, you're going into a unisex loo, and they're all kitted out for disabled and parenting.
Yeah,
and
so
everything.
everybody can use the bathroom, right?
Yep, and it doesn't matter which one you go into. There is no men's or women's. It's all the same.
That's how
You
it
go in,
should
you
be.
lock the door, and you use it. And if you're a parent, you can take your kids in with you, and you can make sure the kids are all good, and you can change the baby. Yeah, mum and dad can go in together and sort out the kids. It's great. It's the best way for toilets to be. Now, the other thing, I mean, I know that doesn't work if you're in a big city and you need to have a lot of loos and stuff like that, but I don't see why all loos, I mean, in our homes, loos are unisex. We have a little room with a door, or you have the loo in the bathroom or whatever, but you might have if you got a separate loo, it's a room with a door. Why aren't all public loos like that? Why I don't understand why we need urinals. Well, I do, because it's meant to take forever. But why don't we have big unisex toilets with an open area? You can have a small section of the open area, which is for women who want to do their makeup and stuff like that, but it's all open. People can walk around in between the area. You have security cameras in the open area to protect the people, and everything is individual cubicles, and everyone goes into the open area of the unisex toilet and then picks a cubicle, goes to the loo. When they're done, they come out, wash their hands in the open area, and leave. And it's all unisex. Because you've got individual cubicles. I don't see the problem with that.
Right. Yeah, I don't
You'd
either.
have to build the cubicles so you can't see over the top of them, because you get poopy gut or put anything underneath it. But I don't see the problem.
Yeah, just make it like a full door.
Yeah.
Walls.
Yeah.
Did you see what's been going? The picture that's been going around on Twitter. Well, I haven't seen it for like a week, but it was going around for quite a while. Some turf published a picture that they took of the wrong gender person in the women's room. There was it was a picture of somebody sitting on the toilet. Okay, you saw the top of their head and them sitting, and that's all you saw. So whatever this turf said it was what they said it was. But now who's the predator?
The person taking the fucking picture.
Exactly.
It's
They're saying,
bold as
we
a
got this
woman.
terrible predator person. We got this terrible predator
God.
person in the bathroom, but they're the one who are being dangerous.
Except she's got a bit of a stash there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's always amazed me. I mean, when we're talking about turfs and toilets and stuff like that in Queensland, they were building a new secondary school up in Queensland, and the plan was to have unisex toilets for all students. So exactly what I described. They were going to have open areas where the kids could wash their hands after they've been and everything like that. There would be security cameras to make sure all the kids were safe. You know, the kids would do the right things because they were being fucking recorded, and they would be prosecuted if they did anything wrong. And they were all independent cubicles, which you couldn't look over the top of or under, and they had full height doors and everything, so that the kids were safe. They could lock themselves in the loo, go do their business, come out, wash their hands, and leave. And the turfs in Queensland kicked up such a fuss that they had to change the plans for this school. The Christian right and the turfs and that were kicked up a fuss. We can't have the boys and girls in the same
their point?
Oh, we can't have the boys and girls in the safety for the young girls. This is the safest thing I've ever fucking seen. There are security cameras in all the open areas. No kid is going to hurt another kid in that environment. Or any kid who is non-binary or trans or anything, or any kid that just feels uncomfortable with it's going to feel safe with this kind of environment, and they kicked up a stink. And it's a puritanic kind of thing that comes from that deep set religious idealism. And it's where most of this turf ideology comes from. It's that puritanical stuff.
Well, if you have
It's
the individual
disgusting.
stalls with doors on them, and then
Yeah.
you have a sink area for everybody to wash their hands, it doesn't matter who's
Exactly.
washing hands with who. You can have cameras over the sinks. That won't matter.
That was exactly what they had. That was the whole design.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was stunned that in my own country they stopped this from happening. I was like, you what? This is the best idea I've ever heard of. And they canned it. You know, the religious right and the turfs all got together and stopped it. So now this school had to replan all its public toilets, and they ended up with less toilets as well. Because, I mean, this also solves the problem that all the toilets are now available to everyone, so you end up with less. You don't end up with queues outside a particular toilet, or not to the same degree. And you get better flow of the facilities, better use of the facilities. But no, that's not how they were prepared to do it. I'm glad to see there's been more common sense here where I live with this shopping center, and I think it's gonna. I think it might be the way that shopping centers in the future move ahead, because you need more parenting spaces, things like that. And the best way to do that is to provide all toilet facilities as parenting facilities. And they're also disabled accessible, because you put doors in that are wide enough, and of course you can get a wheelchair in. So all toilets are disabled and parenting and unisex and brilliant, because they're all independent and individual. But yeah, I think we're a little ways away. And I mean, if you throw it, I've actually thrown this idea at turfs before on Twitter and said, look, unisex, all this thing, we can't have that because there'll be men in our toilets. They're not in your toilets. They're in the communal area, which is protected by cameras. Oh, I don't want cameras. If you don't want a camera there to protect you, what the hell are you doing?
That nothing's good enough for them.
What the hell are you doing? Because it's not.
Can someone answer? Jen? Can you answer this question before, so I can get rid of it? I've just been trying to get somebody to answer it.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't look like a question. It's a comment.
Plus, or is it a plus plus?
Oh,
how many pluses are on the end of LGBTQIA?
I don't think it matters personally.
I usually just go with the Q plus.
Yeah, I don't even always put the plus on. I'm like, I think everybody knows that when you write LGBT, you're meaning everyone.
People under the umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then I just covered everybody.
Or under the umbrella, or use a GRSM.
I like GRSM. I think it's
would
better.
Catch on better. Yeah, I think we need to promote the GRSM more.
What does GRSM stand for? I'm missing one of the initials.
Gender, sexual,
gender, romantic, and sexual minorities.
Sexual, romantic minorities. There we go.
So
it's everybody
romantic I couldn't think of.
Yeah, it's like, so then it covers everyone, but isn't like adding letters every single time, because all of the varieties fit under one of those categories.
Yeah, the public has stated quite clearly that they're okay with LGBT, and anything beyond 4 letters they really don't want anything to do with it. Yeah, and you can tell that by how they insult it, or how they abuse the name. They get to the Q, and then after that they start saying, and the rest of the alphabet too, or they make their smart ass comments.
To be fair, I kind of feel like that with it too. I mean, in the early days for us, Jenny, it would have just been LGBT.
No, in the early days for us it was faggots.
We were all freaking separate.
For me, it was faggots and dykes.
LG.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Just lesbian and gay.
But I'm talking about by the time we get to the mid to late 90s, LGBT is starting to come out within the vernacular. It's starting to at that point. And that was what everybody used. And it was meant to mean everybody who was under the umbrella. It was meant to include everybody else as well. It was adding the letters was just so that you got representation in the lettering, but the lettering was meant to represent everybody. that was the whole point of it. But it doesn't, because we've added to it and then we've made it complicated and confusing. And acronyms don't work when they get too long, as Jenny said. They just do not work. People don't remember them.
Asexuals are left out of what? The GRSM? Because no, they're included into that too. Because you're still a sexual minority, if that's what you're talking about. The GRSM, you're still a gender or romantic or sexual minority. So it covers everybody. You've always been asked to spike.
I mean, I get, Carol, the LGBT is actually out. It leaves people out. It was never meant to leave people out, because the concept was we were including everybody who didn't fit the norm. But I don't personally think anybody fits the norm. That's my personal opinion. But even people who claim they fit the norm don't fit the norm if you look into it deep enough. Everybody has their own
back things. Before anybody even talked about anybody being asexual, though. It's not that anybody's being left out. It just wasn't brought to the forefront yet, basically.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, when the term was coined, we didn't have the internet like we do now. There weren't everybody wasn't championing for their own thing to be. It was the people at the grassroots going to meetings, organizing rallies and stuff like that. It was people phoning each other. And if you were lucky, back then you had maybe IRC and email. That was it. That was all we had.
It is a product of whataboutism. What about me? Where's my letter? What about me? What about me?
I got it to you.
And everybody had to have one. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what was observable as this all developed. It's everybody wanted to be recognized, and they couldn't accept that there's just a global umbrella that we are all under. They wanted the individual tribe mentioned.
Well, there has always been, some amount of the gatekeeping, some fraction that doesn't want to let this letter in, because I've been having.
I mean, you got to look at the.
I've been having the same
alliance to know that that's the case.
Yes, because I've been in this, since the early '80s, when they were arguing about whether or not bisexual was a valid identity.
It's happened all the way along. Then you'll also get people who are part of a group who don't feel like they should be under the umbrella anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
But I mean, if you're going to look at the gamut of people's, we'll talk about sexualities, not identities. To start off with it. If you're going to talk about the gamut of people's sexualities, most people do not fall broadly into what would be considered straight. Sexuality is a bell curve, and whilst a large number of people do fall directly on being straight, most people do not. Most people diverge from it. Now, they're close enough to being straight that they're happy just to be that, but they will have aspects that move away from being straight. Everybody will, and because of that, human sexuality is definitely not just it's the people who are bi, gays, and lesbians, and then the straights. It's not that. It's never been that. It's dishonest to say that everybody is one thing or another. Nobody. I doubt you'd find somebody who is truly gay or truly just a lesbian, but you'll find people who are very, very close to that.
Yeah, there's a small percentage that are completely gay. There's a small percentage that are completely straight, but the large mass of it falls more toward the center.
It does.
That's why it's a continuum. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Spectrum is the word we use today. Continuum doesn't exist. Spectrum does.
Yeah. And in the same way, sex itself is a spectrum too, because and people hate this argument, hate this too. Oh, sex is all about they go, oh, sex is all about your genitalia. Oh, well, yeah, the sex that you're assigned at birth is all about your genitalia, but sex from a biological perspective is about your gametes. It's not even about your chromosomes.
Not even...
Yes, all these things often tie together to be the same thing, but they don't always. And I'm living proof of that.
And I mean, I'd argue I'd argue that your biological sex isn't even just about your gametes. Like it's a multifactorial.
Oh, I know.
Definition. Like because you have to, if you're gonna qualify anybody into one category, it's like it's based on the agreement of 4 different categories. So it's like it's not even
the
one
reason
thing.
why the reason why biological science uses gametes to categorize the male and female of a species is because gametes are the one and only thing in almost all species that are binary. It is the only thing that is binary, that where you can have one or the other type of gametes, and they're different for different species. I know that, and that, but in general, in biology, we only get 2 types of gametes. So it is the only thing that's binary, the only thing that fits neatly into that concept of male and female. But every other pointer that we use for determining sex, which is like hormonal sex. Help me, Ben.
Hormonal, genetic,
phenotype,
and then your phenotype is split into 2 because you have external phenotype and internal phenotype.
Internal phenotype, yep.
Yeah.
And phenotype includes genitalia and stuff like that. And then of course the argument now is that you've also got the differences in brain morphology. So is there a brain sex that forms part of what the brain is, what your sex is as well? So all these different things make up your sex. And the only one of these things, there's only 2 of these things that you cannot change. One is gametes and the other is chromosomes. The rest are completely changeable throughout your life.
And what I need to dovetail off this right now, and what the TERFs and all the naysayers, the ignorati, are forgetting or ignoring by choice, is that those chromosomes are what created everything that ends up being born, whether it comes out as straight or gay or trans or whatever. Those chromosomes created that. And so all of these things are just as natural and just as normative as anything else.
I mean,
well,
the
and
fact
something
that we
else,
see
something else that the TERFs do, and quite frequently, if you talk to a TERF and you mention somebody who doesn't produce any gametes, they don't know what to say anymore, because they're like, you either are designed to produce eggs or designed to produce sperm, but then like they don't realize that there are plenty of people who don't produce either. And so like
from birth.
Well, it's like this new Texas law. This new Texas law seems to recognize that there's intersex people, but it also seems to be discussing in the law that those people will get their surgery the day they're born, with no ability for that child to mature enough to even understand what is at issue with their genitals and what is at issue with their socialization.
That's the quickest and best way to fuck up an intersex kid.
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
that's what we've been. Our whole medical system has been getting away from that. Like, we're fighting against that now, like saying that we don't do genital surgeries on children unless there's a medical reason to do so, like that, an actual like health reason, such as prone to infection or something like that, to where you only fix the part that's going to keep them alive, but you don't fix it for cosmesis. Like, we've been fighting this, and now the government thinks that they know enough to just like disregard everything that medical science has learned in the past like decade. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating on so many levels.
I'll respond to Dr. Cross as well, because they said, and we do see gay animals in nature, plants too, etc. We also see transgender behaviors in nature as well, where you'll find male and female animals take on the opposite gender, what we would perceive as opposite gender roles or opposite sex roles within their communities, where you'll have lionesses who actually grow manes and take on the male role in a pride. And, it's not a genetic difference in that particular lion or anything like that. It's just, well, it could be, but I mean, it just happens that there are issues. There's a particular bird, and I can't remember. I read the paper on it, and it was a while ago. That this is a common occurrence where the birds will take on the opposite gender role, and they'll do it for life. But in any social species where there are predetermined roles for particular sexes or genders of animals, you will find animals that cross the lines and take on the opposite roles.
In
And
seagulls.
that happens. And it's the same with sexuality. It's if you're a socialized creature, there are gender roles for being a socialized creature, and you'll find animals within those that cross those gender roles. So being trans happens everywhere in nature as well.
In seagulls, they have documented lesbian couples that will mate for life. They will do all the mating dances. They will build a nest together. They will lay eggs in the nest every year. Of course, the eggs never hatch because they're never fertilized. But that same couple will come back to the same spot every year and build a new nest.
And as soon as you feed this to the TERFs and the GCs, their defense is, well, those are animals.
Yeah,
We are
it's the same sort of
animals.
defense that you
We
get
are
from,
animals.
same defense you get in arguments when you argue with creationists.
Mhm.
Because they see us as something different, you know.
We're the
and it's not.
humankind.
We're no different to any other socialized animal. Except that maybe we've got a bit better technology around us. That's what makes us different from the apes, our technology.
Well,
Yeah,
anyone who's going to say that we're like God's pinnacle of creation has to explain to me why a frog or a salamander can regrow a leg, but I can't regrow my missing fingers.
Yeah, and just think, like, I was going along those same lines. Like, there's only a couple things that we do better than other animals, but, like, especially physically speaking, we are, like, not even close to, like, the mechanically ideal creatures.
Oh,
Like,
no,
and
we
you
are
can
absolutely
see
at the
that.
bottom of the chain.
Yeah.
Every damn predator out there can eat us.
Oh, and our back and our knees.
And
just
yet we
aren't
have been one of
designed-
the most successful. Sorry,
No, our back and our knees just aren't designed to support our weight walking upright. It's a very poor support structure.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and I can't remember.
Yeah, we should start legislating people walking on all
Sorry,
fours again.
Samuelson is looking particularly smug tonight.
Why did I get this question?
Hi, Richard. How are you?
Oh, we got
Hello,
Richard in the
Richard.
chat, Beck.
Yeah, we got
Hello,
Richard.
brother.
I just
Yo,
said
Bex, bro.
which Richard was first.
Oh, it's the brother one.
Yep.
The Richard.
Dear Richard.
The Richard. What are you doing, brother? Oh, man. People have just been like DMing me and texting me and all kinds of shit tonight. Like, leave me the fuck alone, man. Anyways, sorry, I was distracted. I was listening to what you guys were saying. I just couldn't stop long enough to reply.
It's a good discussion worth having.
Well,
No,
and
it
I've
really
had you on
is. It
since
really
you
is.
started. I was listening. I just had to be working on another project.
Yeah. No, that's
I'm
cool.
gonna have a cat fall on me in a bit, aren't I?
Maybe. Possibly. I see I had to get a high back like this because my cat used to sit back there, and the top of my old chair was just because it was vinyl or whatever, fake leather.
Yep.
So it was just full of fucking holes, and I was like, yeah, that's driving me crazy. I can't take it.
This is fabric, so it's not too bad. But wrong side.
I got something he can't sit on, and then I covered it with a blanket so he can't scratch it up. Eventually he'll start doing that, and then I'll just get rid of the blanket, but for now.
Yeah, Sammy's put a hole in the side of my recliner, but I'm not really mad about it.
Yeah, there's a couple of ratty bits on this one, but it's so much more comfortable than sitting on an office chair when I stream. I could stream for hours sitting in this chair. It's so comfy.
No, I'm always sitting in a recliner. I can't really sit like in an office chair upright. It hurts my back. If I sit in
Yeah,
a chair with both of my feet on the floor, it always hurts my back.
Well, this one's not a recliner, but it is a
Grab my
proper
arm.
full-on comfy with
What are you doing?
comfy chair and everything. I might get a little poof to go under my feet though.
I'm always sitting
not
in
a
my
gay guy.
recliner.
Not a gay guy who I'm going to put my feet on top of.
Hey, you
Yeah,
go on
doing,
Fat
buddy.
Life, you'll find one who's
Sure,
into it.
sure.
Probably.
Bye, Sarah. Have a good night, sweetheart.
Oh, night,
Hello,
Sarah.
puppy.
Night, Sarah.
Night, Sarah.
No, I'm always sitting in my recliner with my my
Right.
legs crossed.
Who
I
wants
just
to meet
bounce
the new
keyboard
one?
across my knees. Oh,
Aww.
This is the new puppy.
Aww. Big screen that. Hold on. Got a big screen, the new puppy. Oh, look at that fluff. Too cute.
It's a puppy.
It is a puppy.
I'm going to get bitten in a minute.
Oh. Dr. Cross, do you know my brother? Didn't know. Totally cute puppy, though. Seriously, though.
So this is
By the way,
cute.
for those of you who don't know, this picture that I have as my avatar is me in first grade.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Oh wow.
I saw that picture a couple years
you've
back.
seen it before.
Yeah.
I took it into FaceApp just like you would a modern day picture.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
And
so
you
Jen, if you got
colored
any
it?
old pictures of yourself like that, just take them and digitize them and put them through FaceApp.
I'll have to go for a hunt and find my baby photos that's on one of the computers here somewhere because I scanned them and send them. I was a complete platinum blonde baby with hair down to my shoulders and everything, and I was gorgeous.
I was blonde too, but
My brother was
I'm still blonde,
platinum,
but-
stayed
Strawberry
platinum
mixed
until he
in,
was
but
about
not
in
much.
4th or 5th grade.
but I had my hair stuck out like this because I had big banana curls all over my fucking head. It was everything my mom could do to control my fucking hair until it started growing out. Yeah, I used to be really curly. Hunter said, Jenny, I thought it was you in high school.
No, that's a little young for high school.
Yeah, that would be a little young. But, you know, she might not have you on full screen like I do. Might have you on a phone or something. Yeah, Mage said a puppy trying to lick your face seems so cute until you see him eat his own poop.
Yeah,
that is
or eat the
absolutely
cat's poop.
I was gonna say it's usually the cat. I was just thinking that. My God,
Yeah,
that's why it's so hard to have
having
a
a cat-
dog and a cat in the same house.
Having a cat is fun and all until the cat goes from the litter box to your counters.
Yep. On my bed, there's a blanket in the middle covering up where I sleep, so they walk around it, including all my pillows, my body pillow, my head pillow. I keep them covered up because I don't want their fucking nasty feet where I'm laying my face or my body. Yeah, so they get the outside of the bed and I get the center. It's basically what it is. But I'm fine with that. They don't burrow under my blanket, though. Thank God. They don't do that. Thank God. GAWD. Since that's the only real one.
Ow!
Yeah, luckily they don't do that. I know some cats that'll burrow and get underneath there, and yeah, no, mine don't do that. I think you're too lazy to burrow, aren't you? Yeah, he is. Yeah. It's funny. I get up in the morning and I'm getting ready. Scared him. And I'm making coffee and getting dressed. And I turn around and look. And they're both
right
on my
there?
bed. Yeah, I'll be fine. I just took too big of a head. They're both on my bed, like, because I have pillows in like a L shape, you know. They're on my bed, like in amongst the pillows, just like laying there, like, going to work yet? See ya. We got the bed. That's all we want. They just wait for me to get out of bed. I'll feed them and everything, and they eat a bite, and then bam, they're right up there on the bed, laying right where I was in that warm spot. Andre said, I'm on my phone and not wearing glasses. LOL, my bad. That was for you, Jenny.
Sammy
Where
doesn't
cat
care about the
burrows.
bed, but sometimes when
Oh,
I
my
come
kid's
in, we
cute.
have an argument about letting me use the chair.
You know what this little fucker does?
Aw.
I'll come home and they'll both be like up on the bed or up on the shelves, sleeping their head half out the window or in the little house thing. And then I come home and I put everything away and I change my clothes and I put on comfy clothes and I turn around and he's sitting in my chair looking at me, laying. He's not just sitting, laying there like, "What's up? I was already here." I'm like, "Dude, get out of my chair." And he looks at me and I'm like, "What'd I say?" And he gets up and he gets down like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." Like, you are not in charge, you little fucking bastard. You think you are, but you're really not. I mean, 75%.
Yeah, you should hear the
But
squawk
don't
out
tell
of him
him.
when I push him off.
He bitches, yeah. Oh, mine doesn't. He doesn't bitch when I kick him off of anything. He knows wherever he is, I'm kicking him off of. He's not supposed to be. So he doesn't bitch. He just gets down. And he tries it again. And again, and again, and again. He's very, very persistent in his small asshole ways.
Yeah. The chair's the only point of contention. You know, everything
Just
else
the
has
chair.
got worked out. Yeah.
Well, I have made this, my entire house is just full of like little cubbies and holes, and there's a place for them to sleep underneath. I have like a one of those front slide out desks. It's an old traveling desk. It was my mother's. It's an antique. So I have put that underneath of my bed. And underneath there, they have like a space to hide. And then I have some cubbies over here. They kind of took over. And now my clothes aren't there anymore. And they're in a plastic bag because I would have cat hair all over my shit. But I have made this. This is like cat heaven. This whole fucking place is like places up there and there and there and there by the windows. They can hide. Like, they have places everywhere they can hide. So they don't need to be on my shit. They can find their own goddamn place to lay down. Those little shelves up there I don't fit on or something. So I have to lay down the law with him. She's good. She never does anything wrong. She is like, literally, since I've had her, I think she has puked a little spot this big on the floor. That's it. She's never peed on the floor, pooped on the floor, nothing. He's done all those things. In my old place, not here, thank God. But,
Well, I can't get mad at him for puking. He can't help that.
Yeah, but you know what? I've almost got him trained now, Purple, when he goes to puke, because he gets excited and he's so worried about not eating because he was with those other cats. It's like he's got food PTSD. I mean, that's why he's like so controlling over it. But he'll eat too much and he makes himself sick, and he doesn't even, like, it'll come out whole. He doesn't even chew it. He just swallows it whole. And then he pukes. And then now I've got him to the point where he starts going, and I'm like, "Hey, go." And I say, "Go." And he goes in and to the bathroom where there's no carpet on the hardwood. Like, good boy. I almost have him totally trained. He's only puked on the carpet like one time in the last, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 months. He puked in there a couple times. Pooped on the floor there once. But it's always in the bathroom.
Yeah, Sammy, if he spits up and I don't see him do it, he has to come and make noise at me until I come and see it. It's like he's got to make sure that I'm aware of it so I don't step in it.
I finished my homework, so I'm driving.
What state you in today?
Well, I'm in Europe. I'm going to Italy.
You're in Europe.
I was in Estonia, going all the way to the bottom of the boot of Italy. It's a long trip, but I'm almost done with it. Only got 12 hours left.
Wow. It's busy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Ben,
I'm going to get
said,
going here.
Oh,
she
okay.
said, she said a bunch of his friends were over, and she made like a big thing of lasagna and fed them all and everything. And I said, "Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow." She's gonna be pissed when I guarantee you they deleted all those text messages.
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Oh, but I hope you got screenshots though, right?
Oh no, it's right. I got it all right here.
Yeah, I was like, you got the evidence.
Mm-hmm. What do they think? They're just gonna get away with that? Yeah.
I was like, you've been around the block too much to know.
And not just that, but I have the times, so I can say, well, who was in the house at this time?
Mm-hmm.
Was Basie there? Yeah. I know he was. He had your phone. Yeah.
All right. Good night, you guys.
Good night, Jenny.
Good night,
Have a
Jenny.
great night.
Night,
What time is it,
Jenny.
anyways? Oh, it's
Good to
almost
see you
10
again,
o'clock.
Jen.
Yeah.
We should
We
end
missed
this
you.
soon
Come
anyways.
around more often.
Well, I will be now. I've got the studio, so I'll be around more. Probably with
Yay.
pets because they seem to prefer it that I let them in here. So it's all right. They're cute.
Yeah,
Night, night.
same.
Good night,
Jen.
chat.
Good
Love
night.
you guys.
Hey, Jenny.
Love you.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll probably have
Jenny's
to
funny.
wander off soon too, because
We're gonna end
halfway
this
through
here
the
soon
day
anyways.
already, and I've got stuff I need to do. So
Yeah, we're almost at 3
I'm
hours.
so glad I
think
got
could-
on because you sent me so many links, B, and I just haven't been able to.
Well, I know. I'm just gonna keep sending them to you until you
Uh,
pop in. The worst you can do
I
is
mean,
not
in all
pop
honesty,
in.
for about a month, I couldn't even get. I couldn't get in front of the computer because of the way stuff was, and
Oh
it
well,
was
yeah.
just
You had
no-go
just
area.
moved and you were fixing shit, and yeah.
Well, no, that's. I mean, I moved nearly 12 months ago, but with Carly coming back in, moving back in, and reorganizing everything, it's just been like a case of not being able to do anything. So I've basically taken 2 months off, and now hopefully I'm going to get back into. I've got a couple of video things I want to do. Actually, one of the things I had an idea for the video for, I will be in contact with you, Ben, because it might be
Yes.
something that's worth us collabing on. So
That'd be awesome. Be down.
so yeah,
There you go.
so I'll be in contact.
Yeah, but
But
don't
yeah,
do anything with me because I don't pay attention to my own streams. You know, it's just so weird. Like everybody's like texting me and everything. I don't know what the fuck. It's like, okay, it's Monday night, Beck's streaming. We should all text him. I don't know what the fuck's going on tonight. Anyways, I apologize for my lack of attentiveness. I was listening, just was not responding. Ben, what do you got coming up?
I have Medical Myths this Saturday, which actually I need to make a thumbnail for that. Medical Myths this Saturday with Scientist Mel. Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be
We're gonna-
fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it'll be
talking about the Candida diet, which anything that is endorsed by Dr. Josh Axe must be legit, right? So we're gonna talk about that.
The Canada, what did they do? Like wave maple leaves in the air while they're
Oh,
eating
no.
their salad?
No, they
What's different
so
about it?
Candida's a yeast. That's what you get for yeast infections. But the woo people have like marketed this and turned it into a scam, making because everyone has Candida. Everyone has a little bit.
Well, yeah.
And if you're immunocompromised, you can get overgrowth. But they've convinced people who are not immunocompromised that they are compromised enough to get overgrowth, and that eating sugar at all will give them an infection. And they'll like convince people that you have this in your blood and shit. And it's like, you don't, because I promise if you had it in your blood, you'd be hospitalized. Like, this is serious.
if
Like,
eating sugar can give you
yes,
an
you would.
infection, yeah, that would be
Yeah.
like 99% of the American population would have had an infection their entire life.
which is why
Okay,
they
so what they're
that's
doing
what
is
they're
they're
trying to get
scaring
people to
people with a
think.
yeast infection to stop them eating sugar, and because they've stopped eating sugar, they're going to lose weight. So there'll be a confirmation bias that this actually
Yeah.
works.
Oh no, and not even people with a yeast
That's
infection.
dreadful.
Making people think that they have a yeast infection who don't have one at all, and they're profiting off of this. And of course, like again, anyone that's seen anything by Josh Axe knows that he's a train wreck. So, but yeah, that's
As
coming
most
up
of
this
these
week.
people are.
Also, trivia night Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It should still be at 9. I should hopefully be off by then. Once again, if I'm not off by then we might start a little late, but it should be okay. That's pretty much it for now. There's more stuff coming in the future that I'm not going to announce yet because it's not close enough.
Hmm.
Is there anyone else shilling? Jen, shill
No,
away.
I should have a video coming out this week, and I'm hoping at some point during
Yeah,
the
she
stream,
doesn't
but
have a
as the week's
clue.
slipping away from me, I might not get a stream. But I am hoping to have a pre-record out this week, and maybe I'll do a stream on the weekend. I'd like to do another science stream, but Matt's pretty busy at the moment, so I might go alone and do a science stream over the weekend or something. But yeah, it'll be a bit of fun. I'm definitely going to be doing more stuff.
Hell yeah.
And
Purple.
definitely Pep's got some streams.
Well,
Purple.
just my usual Wednesday at noon and Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time. But also Wednesday evening at 7, Granny has asked me to be on her show with Mr. Bear to discuss the influence of religion on politics.
Ooh,
Well, that'll be interesting.
that'll be awesome. Beck's not paying attention again.
Oh, I'm sending her screenshots right now because I'm pissed. She said, okay, wow. Watch this. Wait till I turn her the wrist.
And everybody in the side chat is saying good night.
Yeah,
Good
well, we'll say
night.
good night to the people in the
Yeah,
side
we're gonna
chat.
say goodnight anyways.
Good night, all.
I'm ready to go to bed. I just want to finish fucking smoking pot and I don't know, drink some coffee and fucking talk to her because this is about to get ugly. So, anyways, everybody have a good night. Everybody in the chat that's still there, I appreciate you guys coming by. As always, you're amazing. I always appreciate the back and forth you guys have and the advocacy and open-mindedness. So thank you for all that. Ben, as usual, thanks for showing up. I appreciate
Even
you,
though I
buddy.
came late.
Even though you came late and you're busy as hell, I still appreciate you. Purple, and you know I always appreciate you and love having you on. And Jen, it's nice to see you again. So thanks for stopping by.
It's nice to
You're
be
always
back
welcome.
on other people's streams, and I will be more often. I won't be on everyone because it is awkward sometimes during the day for me, but I will, because it is my day, obviously. But I will.
Yeah.
I won't be a stranger.
Cool. Sounds good. So everybody remember, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Have some peace in your life.
Yeah.